Good evening, Clashers and Clashettes, coming to you live from NGE Studios here in Burbank, California. This is the official Supercell Clash Royale North American Opens, representing Frozen Peak. I'm Christian.
And Builders Workshop, I'm Ella.
And tonight we are bringing you again the greatest Clash Royale duels you guys will ever see.
They're so great.
You're gonna dream about these tonight because that's the level.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
But over the past few weeks, hundreds of thousands of you guys at home have been playing in our open qualifiers to come to nights like tonight, the Coronation events.
That's right.
And from the Coronation events, 16 players will move on to the arena battles,
Ooh.
8 will move on to the crown duels after that, and one amazingly talented, awesome winner will take home $15,000 and a trip to Supercell headquarters.
That is right. That is what is on the line right now. And over the last, like you said, few weeks, 16 champions will be moving on. We have a top 8 tonight playing for one of those spots. Not only taking home that ticket, but they're also taking home $2,000 for first place, second place $500, third and fourth $300, and fifth through eighth $100 each. Now, before we get in to see who those top 8 are tonight, just a quick reminder of the rules here at the Clash Royale North American Opens. We run the standard tournament cap with the double deck submission. Each contestant must submit 2 unique decks to us, and by unique we mean 4 cards different. And to move on, it's very simple. You just gotta beat your opponent with both of your decks before they beat you with theirs, and boom, you're one step closer to the top.
Super easy, just be really good.
Yeah, really amazing savant people. All right, let's take a look at who our top 8 are for tonight's Coronation number 12. Up first, it is Derek versus Sizzy.
And then we have Middle Sky versus Ash.
Next, Colton W83, not Cold Town, versus Brian RT.
And then we have Johnny versus Naruto Uzamaki.
That's right, we have a lot of returning members. I think just 2 new ones tonight.
Same
So,
as last night.
let's go over to the couch where we meet our 2 gentlemen who can walk us through all the madness that is this beautiful game. On the red caps, joining me, host and creator of the Super Magical Cup, it's Randy.
What's good?
Oh, life. Life is good. Water,
Life is
good.
And over here, I have host, YouTuber, streamer, awesome person in general, the Rumham.
We're both sick, so let's not.
What's up?
Elbow bump.
I should get some of those masks, right? There's like,
Oh, yeah.
Both of you should be wearing
I was
that.
actually wearing one before we stepped right on stage.
Because how long have we been doing this show?
Yeah.
And
I don't know how many times you coughed directly into my mouth.
All right, here at Coronation number
0.
12. One thing I just want to start out with that was kind of on my mind is I don't think we have a single Reddit Alpha member here in the top 8 tonight.
Uh-oh.
whoa.
Not only is that pretty notable, I think it might be the first time of all the coronations. If not, you're right, very notable occurrence to not have any Reddit Alpha members. That has been the most consistent, dominant, and deep clan so far in the North American Open, because they've had not just several winners up on the wall behind you, but there's been multiple times where the finals have been two members of the same clan. But
so
not tonight.
Nope, we got a lot. We got
tonight,
Hammers
Reddit
Esports.
Alpha.
I think Alter of Elites are back. A couple new clans we'll see, and some of the 2 new people. It's Johnny and Sizzy. I think are 2 new ones here tonight. Are those guys people in the community that you guys recognize, or?
Sizzy is the premier player of Skeleton Army in my eyes.
Really?
He walked up one day, just one random day, when the meta was full of giant poison and minor inferno and all this craziness, and he was just like, I'm gonna play Skeleton Army. Mind you, this was when Skeleton Army was still
Yeah, this guy's amazing.
4 elixir and low-level skeletons, so it was pretty.
He was so happy the last update.
It was pretty terrible. Well, maybe he's not, because now everybody and their mothers is running Skeleton Army.
Oh, he's lost the uniqueness.
Yeah.
Hey, we all knew it was you, Sizzy.
Yeah,
we
you
all
did
knew
it.
it was you. How about Johnny? Is he anyone that? Very generic name.
Yeah, that's tough because I'll bet there's a lot of Johnnies. And any Johnny that I might know of, I don't know if it's the same one.
Right.
But shout out to not just Middle Sky, who made top 8 yesterday.
Right.
And now back to back, right? Ash, though, making, I believe, his 5th time Marcel P.
so many.
His 5th time.
He's the Marcel P.
At least 4.
Yeah.
And maybe this is even his 5th. And Uzamaki making his 4th appearance as well. So we're seeing a lot of repeat performers. Hopefully they can put their name on the wall and end this
back and forth, back and forth.
There are
this nervous march
5
because
spots left?
there's only 5 spots left, right? And there's going to be some people going home disappointed, and I don't want it to be any of these multiple time repeat top performers.
that would be heartbreaking.
Yeah.
All right, well, again, if they're not tonight winners, there could be potential winners on our next. We only have 4 broadcasts after tonight. It is going to be Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday, 6 o'clock p.m. And finally, on the 17th is our final Coronation Day 16, 8 o'clock p.m. on a Thursday. So again, after tonight, just 4 more. 1 more week of broadcast and all 16 of our champions will be going on to those arena battles. I saw there was another video released about them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first video introducing the first 4 duelers.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed watching that video.
Yeah, check it out. So Rulers of the Duelers, it's on the official Clash Royale YouTube channel, and it features Ender, Clyde, Flash, and Backstab, our first 4 Coronation Day winners. And if you hadn't seen that, you can, of course, go check out on the Clash Royale Twitch channel. You can watch the VODs there or YouTube. You can also, I think you have to go to Clash Royale Open for the first 3, though.
Oh, yeah.
Before we move to the big time.
We all made it to Supercell. Yeah, official. Nice.
So my favorite part, as you guys know, of the night is the haikus.
That's right.
Send them to me right now. Start right now.
Send them to us. I mean, yeah, we also like them though. You know, we love
She
the
bogarts
haikus.
all the haikus.
Yeah, she's like, she hoards them over there.
Yeah.
She's like, this is mine.
Hashtag ClashNA Open. 575 syllables, not words.
Yep.
Do it right now. You don't have that much time left. There's
right.
really not that much time to do it.
Only 5 more tonight, and then 4 more broadcasts after this to get your haikus read for all the internet to see. So you don't want to miss that opportunity. Speaking of the internet, which you I'm assuming are on, if you're on Facebook, go ahead and hit that share button. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're watching this on Twitch, give us a follow. We really appreciate it. One thing I liked about that video that just came out, I think it was Clyde that was interviewed, and they were asking him, like, what would you do with the prize money? Like, what would you do?
It was Flash.
Was Flash? Flash, and he's like, oh, I'd give it to
I had to run an errand really quick.
She's out. Ella's out.
What are these papers? Where did they come from? I totally didn't leave these off to the side of the set. Wow.
Plan. Anyway, Flash was like, what would you do with the $15,000? And he's like, I give it to my family because they deserve it more than I would. And the host started crying. It was just.
Oh, yes, that was a poignant moment.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well done, Flash. All right, our first matchup tonight, Derek versus Sizzy. So, is Sizzy running Skeleton Army?
Sizzy.
Question.
Yes, he actually is, and in a pretty unique looking deck here.
Okay, there's a lot of skeletons up in there.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of dudes going on around here. We've got Derek has a Hog Graveyard deck. We've seen Hog decks, we've seen Graveyard decks. I don't know if we've seen them combined, so that's a first, along with Giant Bowler. Sizzy running a Golem Graveyard deck.
Okay.
Uniquely with an Inferno Tower, which we don't see too much of. And his other deck, Sizzy's trademark, is the Skeleton Army, but in kind of a 4 Musketeer shell like we saw Darth Jar Jar run
I like
yesterday. Probably in the place of something like Guards or something like that in an otherwise, 3 Musketeer deck. But he's got the Elixir Collector. That's a card that I think Darth Jar Jar really impressed a lot of people with yesterday for how good it was. And maybe said, oh, you know what? I'll give it a shot. I'll give that Elixir Collector a try.
Now, how hard is it to pick up a new format of style like this? I mean, obviously these guys are the top players right now in Clash Royale, so they're familiar with all the cards, their interactions with them. But if you're stuck into one format of deck, I'm gonna switch it up because I struggle with that, right? Being a spawner main my entire life, getting to Arena 8, starting to be a lot harder to do.
Yep. Oh,
So
yeah.
all right, I gotta switch it up, use my new legendaries, right? And it's like, man, it's hard to get back into that cycle. But for these guys, is it just super easy? Like, oh yeah.
It really depends on the player, right? Like, some people are really good at picking up decks. I'm not, for example. I have to practice a lot and really, it takes a long time for me to kind of calcify in my head what I'm doing with a given deck. But some people can pick it up really well. I think what's important is almost all of these players are in top clans, some of the best clans in the game. And that really helps a lot because you can meet someone who is a great Golem player and say, hey, I want to pick up the Golem deck. What do I need to know? And that way, instead of having to play 30, 40 games in order to get it, they can teach it to you in 5 or 6 games, let you know when you play the cards, what's key in the matchups, and that'll help a lot.
All right, well, our first match of the night, Derek versus Sizzy. Let us know who you think's going to take it in chat.
I cannot tell you what Sizzy's playing because he has, I can now. He's running the Graveyard Golem deck.
Interesting.
Archers are the tell.
Sizzy is going to be representing Hammers Esports. Interesting. I don't think that was the case before, but
right. Well, sometimes you really make an appearance, and all these big clans want to scoop you up. And that's the dream, right? You do well in these tournaments in your little scrubby nobody clan, and then suddenly one of the big teams, the big games want to sign you.
Congrats.
So what happens? Did they kick somebody else out?
I don't know. I'm sure they do. Actually, a lot of those big clans usually keep a few spots open in case they ever find someone they really want to pick up. Very few. I know Reddit Alpha, for example, only holds 49 members at any given time and always kick the lowest member because...
That's gotta feel bad.
Wow.
Yeah, well,
You're Reddit Bravo.
Yeah. If you want to be a top trophy pushing clan, you gotta be serious about it, right?
It's true.
And here comes a Golem down the left side, met by a Mega Minion and a Bowler. Let's see if he can pull it aside, though, with the tower. Or he does with the graveyard.
Uh-oh. Here comes the graveyard, and that might do a bit of damage. One skeleton gets a stab, and now a few more are having their way at the tower.
Ooh.
And oh my god! How many skeletons are there? Oh no! The arrows comes out way too late.
The death right there was Sizzy committed a lot of elixir in front of, Derek committed a lot of elixir in front of the tower to meet the golem. And granted, it was 8 on 8, but that left him very elixir poor when it came to dealing with that graveyard. And if you notice, Derek's deck doesn't have any cards that are particularly great at fighting the graveyard. Musketeer fires pretty slowly and only kills one thing at a time compared to archers, who fire pretty much twice as fast when it comes to wiping out skeletons.
Bowler and
Bowler's good, but the bowler was focused on the golem. Locked onto the golem and not turning around, rolling his rock on all them skeletons.
darn bowler.
Here comes the next bowler drop. Giant coming down the lane, about to meet with the tombstone, and there's a big lightning, but the giant gets chewed away by those skeletons. And I don't think the golem is getting much distance very quick, but the miner pops up to try to tank, and I don't know if that was really effective use of elixir. And Sizzy might pay the price right now.
I think there's going to be a pretty serious counter push, especially if he can lightning that tower away. Ooh, maybe not.
Wow.
He's going to lose his giant. I don't think he has enough elixir for another one.
It all comes down to if the bowler can take down the archers, and I think this is one of the situations we talked about. Giant bowler, once you get the second bowler out, it actually gets quite difficult. There's only 10 seconds left.
But I think it's a little early to be saying well
Oh
played.
no, the musketeer gets zapped and
wow,
target.
what a retard.
But maybe,
whoa.
the bowler needs
Into overtime
my
we go.
Goodness, that was close.
Don't get cocky, kid.
Well
pie
played.
on your face.
Let's see if a golem comes down in the middle here. Center golem. We talk about river golems.
But that's right, we are in overtime, and this is where we really see the golem deck
Oh,
shining.
there's a punish, but it isn't double
He's
elixir
going
time.
under.
You're right, but that's the move we always talk about. One of the best things you can do. Oh no, the Mega Minion got locked on. It was just a little too fast.
But the giant is pretty healthy, and the archer gets bumped back a little bit. That's going to reduce a little bit of damage, and here comes a big lightning. Just the tower is working on the giant, and this could be a lot of health. Big problem is it's not lethal, I don't think, and so this counter push has the opportunity to close the game out now.
Yeah, Giant's going to absorb some, but not all. I think this graveyard might take it down.
Ooh, a big log clears out all the skeletons, and that's good emergency control.
Wow.
Gives Derek a second opportunity, but the problem is he had to use the giant to defend, and now he doesn't have a giant to push on the left side, and he really wants to make sure he puts that giant down right about now.
Right. He doesn't have the giant Mega Minion combo that we've seen be so effective in the last couple Coronation days, and now this golem's looking pretty good with a couple skeletons behind it and the archers backing it up.
Bowler's locked on the tower, and it's gonna get. He only needs to put it in
Oh my
the.
gosh, oh my
Oh
gosh,
no! It's close to lightning. He could use lightning now.
Lightning rage!
No, but the graveyard.
On the bowler! He was one elixir away, but Sizzy picking it up by one elixir, taking game number 1, Coronation number 12. Woo! Starting off quick.
Yeah, way to start, you guys. That was nuts.
The more we're watching these Coronation dig,
The closer and closer they get, it's been like
he a
1
mannequin?
second
I think
into he's playing the
Oh
mannequin
gosh, I don't know what
challenge.
happened there, guys.
Froze up. Shook you.
Well, yeah, just too much excitement.
Are we saying no?
I don't even know anymore.
Oh,
no, the
blew your mind so much.
It's been like the 1 second until overtime. People have been coming back and getting that other tower, and it's just been so close.
And you see why Golem is really powerful in the 2 elixir time, because in single elixir time, we've seen this a million times, that giant plus Mega Minion push is
That's
8
it.
elixir to your 8 elixir behind the King Tower.
Much quicker.
But that'll knock it down the tower.
Yep.
Instead, with double elixir, he was able to manage to save up just a little bit and be like, oh, Tombstone. Okay, Archer.
He defends the miners like twice.
Yeah.
It's just enough to hold off and keep that tower healthy. Even if you take 1,000 damage on each push, that leaves you with 500 health on the tower, and your opponent has to then stop this overwhelming push that you've already spent 8 elixir not defending.
So what does he do about the graveyard now? He couldn't really find a way to defend against that.
Well, thankfully, Sizzy's
he doesn't
graveyard
have it.
deck is out. So that deck is won for the round, and he's going to move to the 4 Musketeer deck. The catch now is, what does Derek want to play? He has Lightning in his Giant Bowler deck that he was, he's just playing Giant Bowler. Might want to stick with that because he has Bowler, Musketeer of his own. Lightning is going to be really good. His other deck, though, is a Hog Graveyard deck that could probably punish those big expensive plays pretty well.
Does he have anything to defend against graveyard?
Oh, you're right. There is a graveyard in the Hog Graveyard deck. Well, Skeleton Army is going to be really good.
Okay.
Knight's pretty solid. Fire Spirits, pretty underrated. We don't see a lot of them, but they're strong there.
3
as
little
well.
guys.
Yeah.
You got one behind you.
And cheap, most importantly. Very low cost. And you've got Ice Spirit, Musketeer. Like, yeah, I actually believe that Syzygy's deck could defend against Graveyard. The catch, though, is that he's got an Elixir Collector. So while you might prevent damage to your tower, every skeleton stab onto your Elixir Collector represents lost bonus Elixir, right?
Yeah. All right, well, here we go. Game number 2. Syzygy, one more game from going on to the semifinals. Let's see if Derek can come back and tie it up. Early minor.
Syzygy really likes that as an opening play. Typically, playing minors just to do damage on a tower is not the best. I mean, it does reduce damage, but maybe Syzygy just feels it's worth it getting the ball rolling.
It's a pass play.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, wow, we already got
3
4.
Musketeers.
Where's the lightning? Oh gosh.
So sad.
Starting off real icky right there. No, the reason why you would do that early is because you don't want to attack. You just want to get Elixir out of your hand. That's a good way to get Elixir out.
Oh.
He did 200 damage for 3 Elixir. Is that great? No, but it's fine.
About even.
Right, after all that. And that's actually probably okay for Syzygy. I mean, you ended up even in tower, even Elixir, and that's after getting your 3 Musketeers lightninged, which is a pretty nightmare scenario.
Pretty gross. So, what does Syzygy have to protect his 3 Musketeers against lightning? Does he have any? Like, does he have an ice golem? I guess do you defensive minor to protect them?
Minor, yes. Minor does have more health than a Musketeer. I don't think you would do that, though. I think the goal of Syzygy is if you lightning, for example, the Elixir Collector, that gives him an opening to put all 3 in the same lane. Otherwise, I think he's looking just to split them and separate them so there's not all 3 in the same lightning range. And if you get real lucky, you can put 2 down each lane, and that's pretty tough.
All right. Knight also. That'd be a little defense.
The splash damage from the boulder got the tower. Ooh, that's perfect. Good minor placement, comes up behind the Musketeer and takes it down. Gets a swing on the tower too.
Oh no, here comes that 8 Elixir push we've seen so much of, and the Skeleton and the Mega Mage is going to wipe that out. The Knight's not far behind. Great distraction here, look at that. I mean, even though the log takes it out, that Giant goes down for the count.
That's really one of the big benefits about these big defensive card plays like Minion Horde, Barbarian, and Skeleton Army. Even if you have the cards in hand to remove them, oftentimes it's not fast enough to stop them from taking down a primary target.
Watching that bowler...
3 Elixir Collectors.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow, and this is the cool threat that you can do with the 3 Musketeers deck. You don't want to lightning that. I mean, you do, but you can't, really, because you're opening yourself up to a 3 Musketeers really badly. So you can just sit here and aggressively play those.
Look how quick you can throw all these guys.
And this is a great way to punish people who are playing just like Zap and Log or Zap and Arrows.
5
Those aren't
Musketeers.
great against Elixir Collectors. When people quit playing things like Poison and Fireball, which are great answers to Elixir Collector, you really put them in a bad situation. You gonna do Log that Elixir Collector? No.
Minor tags onto the tower instead of the Giant.
Skeleton Army.
The Giant actually soaks up a lot of damage from the 2 Musketeers. It seems like Syzygy has mostly abandoned the Elixir Collector strategy. No, and now he's going to try to ramp it up again. I think it would have benefited him to play one more Collector before he played the 3 Musketeers, but that's not what he opted to do, and now he has to kind of rebuild. He's down to 2 Collectors now.
Looking back, I think that Skeleton Army on the right side that got logged was on purpose because he'd rather take the -1 Elixir trade than let his Musketeers get logged and take a bunch of damage. You notice those Musketeers actually traded. They evenly killed each other. If they had taken a log, Derek's Musketeers would have won.
Do you have enough to defend this push? And Syzygy needs to go all in right now. He needs to make sure he's doing a lot of damage.
The bowler got. I think it's just the Giant with that punch right there, and that is going to be Derek tying it up 1-1 against Syzygy. Such an Elixir lead for Syzygy. Being able to dump so many cards out much faster than the opponent, and still Derek comes back. What was the main thing that allowed him to stay in that game?
Well, the advantage of defense, right? You're going to make so much more Elixir on defense. If you notice, Derek wasn't really pushing a lot. His pushes were effective, but he spent a lot of time defending. The thing that really hurt Syzygy is you go up by 3 Elixir, but if you just throw a Minor on a tower and end up not killing it, that's 3 Elixir that goes away every time you do it. How many Minors did he cast? 4? That's 12 Elixir that ultimately didn't affect the outcome of the game. So all that Elixir advantage kind of
went nowhere.
Yeah.
All right. Lightning also, like you said, with Elixir Collectors, right? Them coming out not being super popular. I think that's the 2nd or 3rd time we've seen them in our whole Clash of
The first person not named Darth Jar Jar playing him.
Okay, so there we go. It's so hard, I feel like, not to leak Elixir when you have 3 Elixir pumps in double Elixir time. How's the best way to like cycle your cards where you're not just throwing them away? So is that an acceptable time to leak Elixir?
No.
What's the point of playing
You do
elixir
not-
collectors? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you absolutely do not want to leak elixir. The thing you have to know about elixir collector is not only is it overall giving you more elixir, but what it really does for you is it does it in a pump, right? So if you think about it, within this period of time, if all your collectors pump, it actually lets you play some combos you would normally not have ever been able to play, right? Because you get the elixir back instantly, right when
you place it.
Yeah, so many times in Clash Royale, there's a concept of building up enough to push past the tower's defenses and take it down in one go. And if you have a burst of elixir, that often becomes an easier job for you as opposed to just playing cards one by one.
All right, well, here we go. Derek and Sizzy, 1-1 each. This next game, push someone to the semifinal.
Good use of the Ice Golem, but I don't think it was enough. Musketeer gets attracted by the Mega Minion. Could have been good use of the Fire Spirits, but doesn't quite get it. The Miner does get a good 600 damage.
And those ones you're thrilled about,
Yes.
right? I mean, these towers are about even now after the first 55 seconds of the game here. And the players are actually tied to elixir too. So I think that exchange was a nice little gentleman's start.
So this is Derek's Hog Graveyard deck, right?
Right, and there's no... Here's the thing, he's got Fireball and Log.
Oh.
He needs both of them together in order to kill 3 Musketeers like he has been. Except that since both of them have knockback effects, it's really hard to land both on the same target.
Oh,
they're
that's right.
They're gonna get either pushed apart or pushed back.
Hog Rider does a fair amount of damage, but there is a slight elixir advantage for Sizzy, and he opts to just play the Miner to convert.
He really does just like throwing those miners out.
Yeah, and it's not bad, but remember, the only elixir that counts is the only hit point that counts is the last one, right? So if you're not actually finishing that tower off, then you look back at the end of the game, just like a person on their deathbed, and go, "Oh, I should have done more. You know, I should have finished it up."
Lets the left side Musketeer get a bunch of shots, and the Ice Golem wasn't even played to push it away, and so Derek takes a lot of damage, but again, the damage is split.
Go for the hug. Go for the hug. Oh!
And the little slow effect. Oh, wow.
What a log!
And that thing's gonna hit.
The good old
quite a
God
bit.
combo.
2,
Whoa.
3.
Wow. 4!
Oh,
Tower goes down as he does. Derek picking up the first tower. 43 seconds is all Sizzy has to come back, or he is getting knocked out.
This is actually, just like Golem decks, this is the time to be a 3 Musketeer deck is in double elixir. The Fireball, see right there, Fireball Log, that is 6 for 6 right there, so it's an even trade, but it also takes away one of the strengths of the 3 Musketeer deck, which is its ability to split push. You take one lane out, you're safe. You can just focus all your energy on the other lane and not get caught off guard like the deck wants you to.
Man, double Tombstone really handled that defense effectively, and I think that's the end of Sizzy's pushing power. He's going to try to play Knight Musketeer, but really, I think 1,398 damage is not that easy to do.
Nope.
Even if they were locked on, I agree, there's not much you can really pull off there.
Maybe you have 3 elixir pumps, you have Rocket, you have Mirror. You can just cycle super fast. Rocket, Mirror, Rocket, Mirror, Rocket, Mirror.
Right.
Then maybe, but that's not what he had. So Derek is going to be our first semifinalist of Coronation number 12.
Congrats.
Sizzy, we believed in you. Cool decks.
Awesome deck.
Yeah.
Not today.
Not today.
Not today. Elite
But-
Gaming, though, moves on.
The
Yeah,
split
elite
push
game.
kind of killed him there. And the
Oh.
3 Musketeers, I really love the 3 Musketeers, but it seems like in that last game it didn't really work out.
I mean, they're really cool cards, but they play, I don't know how good they are right now because 3 Musketeers are amazing when people don't play a lot of spells. And right now, almost every deck has 2 spells,
3.
and a lot have 3 spells.
Yeah.
And that spell is most often lightning. And if it's not lightning, it's
Not good.
fireball.
Not
Like,
good.
3 Musketeers really thrived in the poison meta that existed prior to this most recent balance update because poison didn't kill Musketeers, you had to zap them or something on top, and because it was damage over time, they would just walk out of it. Like, unless you could actually keep them in the poison for a long duration, and
right.
zap them on top of that, they wouldn't die. So, but Fireball, instant damage.
All right.
Pretty good.
Well, our first replay of that first game is up. We got the Giant, we got the Bowler.
Look at how many Musketeers are walking across the field, but I think this really just goes to show how, in the end, splitting damage can really, really hurt you. You see how low that left side tower is, and Sizzy comes really, really, really close pushing down that right side tower. If only he was able to construct that push on the left side, it would have been a much different story.
I love this Hog Graveyard combination, something we haven't seen a lot of, but it makes perfect sense. People have to stop the Hog Rider or else they take a lot of damage on their tower, and the Hog Rider's in front of the tower. The Graveyard, you cast it behind the tower, and you gotta defend that too. It's 9 elixir, not
Wombo.
gonna kill anything, but it's very effective. Given that Think about how Golem decks and Giant decks, they spent 14, 15, 16, 17 elixir to do 1,000 damage to your tower. That's only 9 elixir that can take an entire tower. You just got to be prepared for the counter push, and he was.
All right, well, again, congratulations to Derek. Now up next, Middle Sky versus Ash. When you were talking about keeping Musketeers together in the poison, it reminded me of the card that's I think coming out in like an hour, which is Tornado, right?
Yeah, Tornado. Orange Juice on his YouTube channel released the sort of intro to the Tornado, how to use it, earlier today, and it looks really impressive. It's a 3-cost spell, pretty wide radius, does enough damage to kill Stab Goblins, Spear Goblins, and Skeletons. Not minions, but it brings them low enough to kind of like zap your tower and finish them off. But the important thing is that for 3 seconds, it pulls things towards the middle. This includes pulling things backwards from your tower to get extra shots on them.
That's
the coolest thing I saw was when people play a golem in a lane, you can tornado to pull the golem to the other half of the board, and it'll walk down the other lane.
Wait, does it affect? Can it affect your guys?
Only enemy troops.
Okay.
But a lot of uses for it. You can split up pushes. Hey, Ella, you like Wizard, right? You're a big Wizard fan.
Sure.
You can play Tornado to group up all of the troops in a push, and boom, boom, boom. Suddenly Wizard just finishes them all off.
Wow.
Oh, that's
I wonder, do you think it's going to be a good counter to Graveyard?
Ooh, probably not. Simply because Tornado only lasts for 3 seconds. Graveyard is a 10-second spawn.
Okay.
It's not the worst against it, but
he's committed all his troops in front of the tower.
Oh.
And there's a log to push back the skeletons on the giant, and I think he gets pretty good value out of that. Ooh, a big zap. This golem's gonna take down the furnace and walk towards the main tower.
The skeletons are gonna die to the explosion. Boop.
Still though, I think Middle Sky got a great trade on that.
Oh, and he's got Graveyard.
And archers are committed on the other side, which is like the #1 card right now to fight Graveyard.
Oh
that
no,
might be
you're
a
gonna
down
need a
tower.
spell, you're gonna
That
need
might be-
something else. The zap is spent, but still the damage is done. 809 to 983, and it's becoming increasingly clear that with these big bodies, and as long as you make sure that there are key cards out of the opponent's hand, Graveyard does some very good damage. Pretty guaranteed.
Yeah, if I'm Middle Sky, for example, I just saw the archers come out. I'm looking for a way to play Giant at the river, backed up by a Graveyard.
Bless you.
I'm sorry.
Apologies.
Just what we need right now.
All right, so we got Middle Sky, we've got Ash. Ash, of course, YouTuber. Middle Sky, is it the second time here?
Back to back, he was actually, I think just the other day, I think he might have been our only new competitor. I think we had 7, maybe not the very last Coronation, the one before it. I believe we had 7 repeat winners, and he was the only new person, and now he is,
back.
the salty veteran.
Making it in.
Salty
veteran. Back to play.
Nice use of the Mega Minion will win out that duel and go on to the Golem. Archers, meanwhile, are wasting their time away on the Giant. Eventually, their hard work will pay off, but not before this Graveyard kicks into full gear. Ice Golem plus Mega Minion, will that be enough? And a lot of the Graveyard was actually positioned forward, and that's actually bad for the Graveyard because the Ice Golem is walking forward.
And ideally, also Tombstone Skeletons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ideally, you want most of the Graveyard to be behind the tower so that the Ice Golem will walk forward and no longer attract the Graveyard Skeletons.
This is a tower, right? Oh, Skeleton Army to defend!
There's Zap, and Archers will make sure that they deal handily with the Graveyard.
Oh, knock it back. Not a punch.
Wow. Excellent defense by Middle Sky, and his offense ends up taking down that top right tower. With only 13 seconds to go, I think that was Ash's last hope.
There's no big damaging spells in Ash's deck. No lightning, no fireball, just log and zap.
That was kind of just like a graveyard match there.
Yes.
I mean, graveyard mirror match.
Never really seen that.
And both players had great cards to counter. I mean, they both had archers, they both had log and zap in their deck. Middle Sky, though, I think just had a little bit of an advantage by having the skeleton army. And was able to defend it slightly better, especially when it counted in the last 20 seconds of the game.
One of the things that Ash did there is he put his golem, after he got a lot of the damage on the left tower, he decided to play a golem on the right side. Why do you think that was? Why didn't he just continue to go for that left side tower?
There are a lot of reasons why you would want to do that, depending on the timing and how you play out your push and what cards you have in hand. There's always a possibility with a golem push, for example, to really knock a tower down in one go. And so if you detect, or if you think you detect a vulnerability in your opponent's defense, or kind of a gap that you can push an advantage of, it might be worth it trying for a big push on the other lane, because who knows, if you played your cards right, you might just take that tower from 100 to 0, and that would have been better than trying to force a push that you know your opponent can defend down the same lane.
That makes sense. I was thinking like maybe I was like, oh, maybe he's like that tower on the left's low enough. I have a lightning to take care of it. You're right, there was no big damaging spells in his deck to do that. So, all right, so we have Middle Sky taking one game up. The next deck that Middle Sky has to go to is a what?
Zap bait.
Oh, baby.
Yep.
We got Goblin Barrel?
Oh, you know we got the goblin barrel.
Oh,
What's the point
yeah.
of baiting a zap if you ain't gonna throw
That's
the barrel?
right.
As my grandmother used to tell me.
Good old Mimo. We saw yesterday the first, I think, successful log bait of a Goblin Barrel with a log completely missed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
That's
God.
a way to block a miner.
Just put a giant rock beast in front of it.
Yeah. That's like watching a Miata hit a school bus right there. It didn't quite work.
Wow.
Graveyard Inferno Tower defense.
Right, now that's there to distract all
Wow,
the
look how close the golem is already in the
a
end.
lot of health.
I just
and it's still
said
It's still not getting it. There it is. Finally.
Oh, but it's getting that last little bit. That was probably more than you wanted to admit that it was going to do. You know what I mean? I think in his dreams that was a full health golem hitting the tower, but that's
Still, it was a great defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, given that golem was already earning his cost the moment he was blocking a miner, not too bad.
The Ice Golem will actually eliminate these minions here.
That's super interesting. The minion horde actually, when attacking the golem, when it explodes, didn't take damage.
That's because minions are out of range. They have enough range to avoid the golem's death damage. If the golem happens to walk under the minions as they're killing the golem, then the death damage will hurt.
She survived. The longer log that exists now can, I believe, hit the goblin barrel and the princess. Maybe I'm wrong there.
That might have hurt more than helped the fireball, because
no.
now the skeletons are coming in at the exact right time and has to spend skeleton army to defend it.
Another princess is there. You gonna log this one too?
Oh no, but the princess is locked on. It's gonna shove her out of the way. Nice. Still though,
walking.
I actually think. Oh wow, he chooses to defend.
He plays that because at the exact moment Minion Horde's out of the hand, and that's one of the things.
They're still coming. They're still coming. It's still party time, guys.
There it is. Get a couple hits. The final. I love it. The final, like you said, eventually they will slowly overrun the tower.
Here comes the first goblin barrel.
No, my
Oh, they get a stab. And the fireball.
Hey, every stab counts.
It's the cycling, right? You get hit by a fireball, you get hit by a stab.
That's what my grandma said. Every stab counts, son.
Every stab counts.
your grandma
What was your grandma teaching you? Exactly.
Thanks, Grandma.
Christian comes from a very hardcore household.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, what is even happening? There's so many little bodies.
Now that's the thing you're the most afraid of, is something like Minion Horde can actually completely prevent a graveyard from doing damage. I believe with all 6
Wow,
attackers.
look at how desperate and still took damage for it, and still is going to get fireballed.
I mean, Ash has to be careful. Going to get
That
one
is
tower goes down, and that is
exactly
it.
Fireball.
Is it?
I actually wouldn't even do that because Fireball would 100% kill that tower. It's 229 is the health of a Fireball, so it was exactsies.
You're kind of risking it.
So you're better off actually start going for the other tower because if you go into overtime, you have a lead on the second tower.
But it looks like overtime is not happening. Middle Sky is going to 2-0 Ash in our second game of Coronation number 12.
Ash is breaking my heart. I mean, how many times can you make the top 8 and not? I mean, he's made the finals before, so we know he's skilled enough to get there. But
Do you think it was the Dex? What?
There must always be one Marcel P.
Yeah, well,
He's taking the place.
so we are going to send someone to the arena battles today. Unfortunately, it's not the person who has been here the most.
Yep.
Ash is out.
Ash,
Too bad. Double graveyard deck. I appreciate the effort. Still love that card.
loved it.
Yeah.
All right, our first replay is a giant push. Let's get right into it. Rainy walking through what Middle Sky just did so right.
Well, there's a giant there. There's the archers behind. And by the way, even if you are in Arena 1, 2, or 3, this push is deadly. Giant plus archers is one of the strongest pushes you can put together. Much like Hog Rider plus 2, Giant plus 3 is actually really, really strong. By plus 3, I mean elixir. You play a giant, you play a 3 elixir card, you've got yourself dinner.
I like
Winner, chicken dinner?
Yeah,
What
just like that.
kind of dinner?
A bento box.
Ooh, okay.
Winner, chicken dinner.
What kind of bento box are we talking about?
Has somebody never watched a game show before?
You could have a chicken dinner in the bento box. You could have chicken teriyaki.
All right, Middle Sky. Moving on to the semifinals here. So we've got 2 of our semifinals. Let's go ahead and pull the bracket so we can take a look so far. Quick little recap, little refresher. Derek moving on, as well as Middle Sky. Sizzy, first time here. Again, making it to the top 8 is an amazing feat in and of itself.
Some pretty
but
cool
he
decks,
is out, and
but-
Ash just falling to Middle Sky there, 2-0.
We've got an announcement to make.
Oh.
What?
Oh.
We've got a card debut.
No way.
New card debut. A card
Wait,
debut.
drum roll,
We have
drum roll.
yet to see it.
Can we guess it?
I want Christian to guess it.
Okay, first card we have yet to see.
But I'll tell you this. I'll give you a hint. You play it.
Oh, okay. Giant Skeleton? Is it a Goblin
Wait,
Hut?
how many guesses do you get?
Is it Barbarian Hut? Yeah, Barbarian Hut!
Barbarian Hut
Yes!
is in Brian RT, one of Brian RT's decks. He's
Okay.
running double
No
hog decks.
way.
Okay,
He's running. Now
Brian
let me tell you
RT.
why. I've seen this to start coming back. There is a player in my clan who, ironically, is named Player. But he's always been a mortar player and a spawner player, and he actually has started to bring back Barbarian Hut, and I'm sure he's not the only person. The reason why, it is exceptionally good against Golem decks.
Is it?
Because they play Golem, you play Barbarian Hut in the same lane, heading up on the Golem. We saw how great Barbs were against Golem in
That's
yesterday's
right.
Coronation Day.
Mini Pekka hit.
P.S. Colton also playing Barbs. But the Barbarian Hut puts them out 2 at a time. You can't really lightning them, it's not really worth it. The Barb Hut has a lot of health, so if you lightning that, it's still making barbs. And they slowly but surely build up on the Golem and help resist the push without you having to spend all your elixir dropping it at once and then getting lightninged out of the game. You
Nice.
just match them in the
Sounds
investment
great.
and see how it happens. You're gonna love it. Brian RT also has Hog and 3 Musketeers in the same deck, so this is a wacky,
This is awesome.
wacky
That's gonna be
wobble-doodle
awesome.
deck.
Somebody should write a haiku about it. That
We've
would be
heard-
awesome. Barb Huts, Musketeers, 575. That works, right?
It's Barbarian
Barbarian.
475.
Barbarian.
Barbarian Hut.
Oh my
right?
God.
Barbarian
Somebody
Hut.
prove it.
That's fine.
You can do it.
Yeah,
you
it's already-
can make it happen.
it's already
I
there.
believe in you.
Go Barb, go.
Hashtag Clash of Naomi.
Spawn Barb, spawn.
Where is Barb?
Yeah.
In the hut.
Stranger Things. Not a sponsor. All right, but it's a great show. Up next, Colton 83, Colton W, which I thought it was Coltown the
I
first time.
corrected you, and you
we were
just
here.
opted not to listen to me.
I didn't hear you the first time. Colton W83 versus Brian RT, both returning.
Right.
Brian RT, I believe.
Brian RT made the finals of one event that the last Clash Royale North American Open that he made, which was actually one of the earlier ones. It's been a little bit here. Colton, second at the King's Cup. Finished second to the
Oh,
eventual
wow.
winner.
Oh,
Defeated several YouTubers and many other excellent players along the way.
nice.
So Colton found himself $10,000 richer from that event, and perhaps he can find himself $15,000 richer by winning this event, going on to the arena battles, and winning the crown.
It'll be $17,000 richer. 2,000 from this.
You're right.
All right, here we go. Colton 83 versus Brian RT. Which one will be moving off to the semifinals?
Is this his Barbarian Hut deck?
This,
Yeah,
sir,
what is
is a Golem Graveyard deck for Colton. Brian RT is. It is.
Yes.
So let's see this matchup. This is exactly what we were talking about. You play it in the up front there, and actually the Barb Hut, kind of like Ice Golem, absorbs part of the lightning shots too. So if you really desperately need your Mega Minion, your Musketeer, or whatever to survive, that can block for it.
This deck is what I will call lightning bait. You try to force your opponent to decide whether to lightning the Barb Hut and the Barbarians or the 3 Musketeers.
That great 5 elixir answer to the graveyard. You're taking some damage. but-
You're right. Wait, Barbarian Hut goes down, and already the golems have split the golemites, and one maybe is gonna make it.
Oh,
Ice
wow.
Golem forgot
Yeah.
where he was going, got a little bit lost.
Oh, he got so distracted.
Fine.
As
And
like, is this the one, guys?
And really, all
Where
that
is
damage
everything?
was Graveyard's fault, not the Golem itself.
Right, yeah.
So if he can be more prepared for the Graveyard next time, and he had a pretty good answer, but now he's really going to be ready for it. I think you're going to see the value of a Barb Hut. Hopefully. I love the card.
Sweet.
It's a card that's been dormant. Actually, I don't think Barb Hut, Rainey, you can follow me up on this. In all of competitive Clash Royale, as long as there's been Super Magical Cups and other community tournaments, Barb Hut has never been a premier card.
Nope.
But just like Baby Dragon, the appearance of these great Golem decks is giving Baby Dragon a place in those decks, and it's giving Barb Hut now a place as an answer to the Golem.
Man, I wonder if Brian RT has been counting cards, because there's actually no removal spell on Colton's side that can take down Barbs or 3 Musketeers. I actually feel like he should just be playing his 3 Musketeers on the same side.
Oh, because there's no.
You
he's
will
got log zap.
destroy this push if you have 3 musketeers all lined up shooting at the targets.
Now he's got the archers to help guard, and hopefully this, I think what he's hoping is that this graveyard won't do nearly as much damage, and that counter push of musketeers and all that other stuff is going to do real well.
Oh, Hog
How
Rider come
often
in.
do the barbs come out?
I think it's 5 waves of barbs. You get 10 total barbs for the price of 7, which is, I think, 12.5 elixir worth of barbarians, but 2 at a time.
Brian RT throwing up the oops right there. Rainey, what was that for?
He didn't defend well. There were still archers in the back that were being protected by skeletons that did a lot of damage. Brian RT was trying to play conservative, thought he had the push cleaned up, but those tiny little archers do a lot of damage. You need to respect it.
Oh.
That's going to be a really good graveyard there because he played it right as 9 elixir came out of Brian RT's hand. He does get the archers down to save, but
Archer's
it's real close.
So good at defending.
That actually might be the nail in the coffin for Colton. He needs to cycle
Zap
at least
log.
2 spells.
He's going all in for a reason here. He knows that the next Zap plus log he is donezo.
Do not
There
defend
it
the
is.
left
There's
side
the
at all.
log,
Oh,
and an
this is-
instant zap. Colton 83 picking up the first game against Brian RT. One step
I
closer to the
really,
semifinals.
really hope that Brian RT just looks up and takes a look at the deck list. It might already be too late because it's entirely possible that Colton's second deck has lightning in it. But that was a key opportunity to just play
Musketeers
Barbarian
on
Oh,
one
Hut
just
side.
kidding, it does.
and 3 Musketeers. 7 elixir plus 9 elixir is enough to defend any push you throw at you. Even if you throw in Graveyard, 3 Musketeers are great at taking down Graveyard Skeletons because there's 3 of them.
Right.
And they don't have to walk anywhere. One of the problems if you use a melee unit sometimes is if one skeleton spawns on one side, then he has to run all the way to that side.
Oh.
He kills it and he looks back and there's 7 skeletons behind him. He's like,
Yeah.
no.
Well, too late. All right, before we get into the next match, just a quick reminder of our broadcast here at the Clash Royale North American Open. Our next broadcast is going to be Sunday at 6 o'clock p.m., and that is going to start the final week of broadcasts. 4 more after that, and all 16 champions will be here. So make sure you guys tune in. And if you guys want to be a part of this, you can be. This isn't just reserved for the elite of the elite, because we all know you are the elite of the elite.
Our first winner is the best example of that.
That's right, because he thought he would never. He's like, I'm not good enough to make the win. I'm not good enough to play at the top level, and
he did it.
And he won. So if you guys want to do that, go over to ClashRoyaleOpen.com where you can sign up, and hopefully we'll be seeing you next week here.
Do it.
You check out the Rulers of the Duelers video on the official Clash Royale YouTube channel too. He's gotten a little braggadocious. He's like, do you have a message for the guy? He's like, watch out for my X-Bow, because I'm gonna play him even through Giants and Royal Giants. And I was like, whoa, there, I'm big for your britches now.
It's already
anyway.
going to his head. It's already getting there.
You should send him
confidence
some
is key.
advice
You
on
can do
how to
it.
cut promos.
So what?
You should send him some advice on how to cut promos so you can aid
I
in
can't
his-
cut promos, but I hear Rum Flair the Nature Hand is pretty good.
we got to get that guy back. All right, Colton W83, one more game away from moving on to the semifinals. Let's see if Brian RT can come back and tie it up.
Commentary we don't deserve, but need.
Bye-bye.
Oh, fireball!
Oh, did get the swing.
Are they one shot right now?
So, Colton is running a giant lightning deck, no bowler, Barb's replacing bowler. I assume because bowler is so bad against all the other tank decks and Barbs are so good against the other tank decks.
Okay.
And
Some leak?
what's he going up against? Is it the
Elixir
same?
leaking.
It's actually hard to say because all of these cards, all 4 of those cards are duplicated.
Oh.
Well, he just
Wait,
played the
psych.
5th.
It's, oh god, it's the Barb Hut deck. Yes, all right, more Barb Huts.
Yay.
All right, I believe in it. I believe this deck is actually really good. One thing that he hasn't, okay, there it is. He didn't hog log a single time in the last game, and I actually think that that's the best Hog Rider 2-card combo you can play right now.
Yeah, it's up there with Fire Spirits is also really good. The difference is that there is, if they play Fire Spirits with their Hog Rider, you have a spell answer. You can
Yes.
log it, you can zap it, you can do
yeah.
things. There's nothing you can do
Against
about
log.
a Hog log because log is uncounterable.
Yes. Who pushed it? We don't know.
I'm surprised it just doesn't get stuck in the grass when it drops.
Barbs on
just
barb.
like-
Spikes.
Oh, these 2 barbs are gonna 2v4 me, bro. Oh my god. And
That
the tower.
bar is
Oh.
going for it.
And let's see if that Barb crosses the river next and gets shot by the tower. You don't want those Barbs to take any real damage. Oh, they do. Because that's just that much of a threat, or that less of a threat they can be to a tower.
Run, run. They really need to work on their cardio.
All their cardio is in their
I mean, they're
arms.
so buff. Have you ever
Yeah.
tried to run with that many muscles? Me neither.
Yeah.
Nope. They need to work on leg day.
Yeah. Now the giant clearly works arm day, forearm day. Look at those things. This big old ham fist.
There's the lightning we're talking about
Can
against
you
3 Musketeers.
Yes,
Exercise
but
your
2 of
hands.
the Musketeers live, and one of them is actually going to get a ton of damage on the left side tower. This is exactly what 3 Musketeer wants. Look at how much damage that is.
Wow.
Ooh, that's a really good log because you get the barbs just for free.
Didn't quite get the timing right because the Hog Rider got held up by the Barbarian's body blocking it.
Has a Hog Rider hit yet?
It got at least one swing early on,
Three
but
barbs.
it's not been very much, you're right. There hasn't been a hog that's gotten at least 2 to 3 swings.
All right, well, 30 seconds left right here. The lowest tower on the bottom right-hand side for Colton W. Let's see what can happen.
Wow, really good lightning protection. Played the Ice Golem for one possibility, had the Hut for the other possibility, and now he has a Hog Musketeer on the left side. Just committed 5 elixirs to try to defend that. Now how are you going to stop this right side push? There's units that you can put to assist the Musketeer itself as well.
And those barbs are really earning their keep. If that was a bowler, I'm not sure that these pushes would be held off. I think this would actually turn out really badly for Colton, but that 5-cost squad of barbs has been body blocking and just straight murdering every Hog Rider that's come down the path.
Yeah, again, like Rainey said last broadcast, more than a P.E.K.K.A. if they all swing on the same target at once.
Yes,
Mini P.E.K.K.A., sorry.
Yeah. I think arguably more than a P.E.K.K.A., big P.E.K.K.A. too.
Really?
I mean, they each do something like 180 damage a swing. Okay. They each do about 180 damage a swing or so, so when all 4 hit, it's really significant.
Wow.
Ooh, the Hog Rider gets kind of a clear shot through all the units, and 2 Musketeers are alive. Watch these 2 Musketeers, but the race is against the Giant.
There's the Giant.
There's still Tombstone Skeletons defending up the Musketeers.
Oh.
He barely gets out of the way, but the 2 Musketeers get a few shots off. 2 lightnings, or a lightning and a little more than a log. I think it has to be 2 lightnings.
And let's not forget that Colton here. Whoa!
There it is.
Get the
Oh,
swing!
Log
The
it.
log!
That might
Wait,
be it.
log
Brian
lightning.
RT.
Oh,
We weren't even looking at that at all. Brian RT is going to pick up a victory, coming back and tying it up. But while we're all focused on top right, bottom left, all of a sudden, oh yeah, bottom right was low as well.
That's
Why
why don't humans have 3 eyes?
Yeah, why can't we be looking all
We
over?
need
the
to
Yeah,
look
we
at
were
all the
definitely
towers.
splitting our eyes that way.
Well,
That was tough.
That was
So
nuts.
we're gonna have to see that on the replay after if Brian RT wins, because we'll see the replay of the winning player, and that's definitely the key moment there because he was defending the top right, attacking the top left, got it down with the Hog and Fireball to a point where you only needed to log it for the victory, and then suddenly the bottom right just
it
explodes.
just explodes
It's gone.
out of
It's
nowhere.
just
Well, I was early on. He was really splitting his damage and very clearly going for not really one, but kind of doing on the both. I was like, oh, we see that a lot, and usually it doesn't work out for people. Clearly, there that was great.
3 Musketeers is kind of the
Split damage.
premier split damage deck. It's one of the only decks that can really do it consistently and have it make sense. We've seen it fail already today, but definitely Barb Hut plus 3 Musketeers provides you that opportunity. Spawner decks in general are the king of taking consistent damage and allowing you to play Elixir elsewhere and still have the benefit of your spawner contributing.
And it makes a lot of sense too. So like barbs cost 5 elixir. So 2 barbs are 2.5 elixir. That makes sense, right? If you split Musketeers, you've got 6 going down one lane, 3 going down the other lane. Those 2 barbs from the Barb Hut contributing their 2.5 elixir. That's about even, right? You're like, you've got 6.5 in one lane and 6 in the other, and that's kind of tough to just deal with.
I like that. I like that a lot. All right, guys, this is the final game between Colton W83 and Brian RT. Mortar Combat and Reddit Troopers, who will move on to the semifinals to face off against Middle Sky and Derek. Actually, it's gonna be Johnny and Naruto after the next match.
Yeah, that's the next match, right?
Either Colton or Brian RT goes home right now. This is the last game that they have to play, and it's hard to imagine either of them being knocked out this early. I mean, I say this early, but it's round of 8. This really goes to show how strong these players are by the time they get here.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's also how consistent they are given how many repeat performers. I mean, we do not see just like random smatterings of players. It's the same players week in, week out.
People.
I don't know why that ice going back
mistimed
by
this
the King Tower. Have we seen Sparky yet?
Sparky has not made a debut. Sparky is, no offense to Sparky lovers, it's not good against good players. It's great against bad players because it's a card that's very expensive with a very high reward threshold.
Get punished, right?
But if you are a good player, you can almost always play around it with any combination of cards in your deck, especially if you have Zap or something like that.
Sure.
I think it's important for the game because it teaches new players how to counter cards. Like it's a thing you have to really learn how to play against.
Yeah.
But I don't think it'll ever have a place in high-level competitive Clash Royale, and that's okay.
All right.
Watch somebody bring it.
And if somebody makes me look like a big old doof with it, that's fine too.
Please do. That'd
Still
be
our
excellent.
hero and savior, King K102. Giant Skeleton, Goblin Barrel, Sparky, winning with all those cards.
That's right.
He probably holds the record for the most niche cards to ever win a tournament.
Poor King K. He cannot play in the Clash Royale North American Open. Another
Moment
time.
of silence.
Moment of silence for King K. And now
He's
we are
not
done.
dead.
Colton W83, 1650 on his bottom right.
Ooh, one swing. Oh.
Got it. Two.
Oh, it's locked onto the ice golem.
3! Wow, what a value hog.
Still,
the
now
barbs
you
in
have to
front.
handle the barbs.
That
We're going to do a great job at wasting the time of that Inferno Tower. And it's still, it is now locked onto the Giant. Oh, that Ice Spirit's going to be good.
Wow, what a clutch spirit.
Oh, wow.
That Inferno Tower had a scope on top of its tower because it locked onto that Giant exactly
Yeah.
with all the barbarians
It's
surrounding
like, don't
it.
worry, Brian RT, I got you.
100% skill.
All that skill. It's that placement, you know? That
I mean,
placement.
it wasn't random. I don't know if it was on
Yeah.
purpose or not, but it was not random. Look at that Ice Spirit. Oh, such a good card. A 1.5 second stun. Oh, and now it's locked onto the skeletons behind it. Oh no, but he didn't actually hit the tower. And
Man.
that Giant took even more damage.
That Ice Spirit in combination with the Inferno Tower really does a number on the Giants.
Interesting though, Colton W really not giving Brian RT a chance to drop a hog rider, but there it is now.
Ooh, the Fireball only takes out one Archer. I don't know
Yikes.
how worth that exactly was. But these pushes are not really showing a lot of confidence in getting through the Inferno Tower.
We'll see. This
So
situation
close.
might be a little bit different. The Ice Spirit jumps before
Oh.
too late. The Inferno Tower actually did diminish, and you can already see how much longer that Giant survives. The Inferno Tower does a lot of damage. Just giving it a few extra swings. I think that Brian RT is trying to cycle down that tower, so the next time he plays a Hog Rider, he knows he can push his Elixir all in. He can play Fireball and Log, not have to worry about defending it, and I think that's what he's going to do
Colton
here.
trying to get in lightning log range, it looks like as well.
Oh, and as these things go, oh wow, the Hog Rider outraces one.
That's it! That's gonna be it! Brian RT picking up the game against Colton W83. He is moving on to the semi-final.
Does that mean we get to see that replay of the
We get to
tower
see the
that we
replay.
completely missed?
And Barb Hut lives to spawn another day.
Yes, Barbs were doing
Yes,
work
Barb,
in those
yeah.
all those games.
I mean, that was the first Barb on Barb matchup that we've seen in the North American Open.
was
So
pretty-
you saw how good they were against, since both decks had a
Yeah.
lot of tanky characters. I mean, the Hog Rider is similar to a Giant in that you have to do a lot of damage to it as quickly as possible if you don't want to get killed. And in both situations, the Barbs looked great.
Yeah, barbarians.
So cool.
What, you get them in like the first arena, right?
Arena 3 Barbarian Bowl.
Hey, oh, that makes that makes a lot
There
more
you go.
sense. All right,
The Gnome de Plume.
let's go into our replay now of that third game of our round of 8. Take a look.
All right, Barbarian Hut has really been outstanding to me, and I think it makes a lot of sense in this deck. There's so much action going on, but take a look at the right side. The Ice Golem actually slows down the archers in the back and allows these two archers to win the fight, and that's going to be key, because guess what does the most damage in the end? It's those last two archers remaining.
Is it the Mega Minion?
The Mega Minion's
Oh, it
moving
is
up.
just straight up Mega Minion. And
Yeah,
Archers.
Mega Minion and the archer.
Oh, and he logs and trying to get the
Wow.
damage, and that's it.
And he missed the Archer behind. I think potentially if he would have hit the Archer along the way and taken off that extra damage that had been dealt,
That might have been it.
might have been. I mean, that single Archer is what, half a Musketeer? Musketeers do a lot of damage to towers. I mean, that's pretty serious.
All right, but there it is. Brian RT, our third semifinalist of Coronation number 12. We have one more match to go. Do you want to say something before we move?
Oh, just that last replay, he did a really good use of his two separate stun effects in order to guarantee his Hog Rider got through. He knew the Barbs were going to show up. Ice Spirit comes in, jumps on the Barbs. Hog Rider knocks down the Tombstone, uses Zap for a half-second stun on the Barbs, and the Hog Rider is very fast compared to the Barbs' medium, so he just
I'm out.
just rode away, just ran
That's
him
Hog
down.
Rider pressure right
That
there.
was really good. That was great.
Hog Rider!
Speaking about zap and resetting kind of a target's attack animation, is there a best time to zap? Is it like right before they hit? Is it as they're just hitting and then you want to zap them and they come down? Or is it just doesn't matter?
Depends on the enemy troop.
Oh wow.
Some troops with really big wind-up attack speeds, you can interrupt it and have them start all over. Sparky being the most common of those choices there. But yeah, I mean, we see this a lot with graveyard decks, actually. If you know, sometimes people play Bowler, and Bowler takes 2.5 seconds, one of the slowest wind-ups in the game, and as he's like getting ready to roll, if you stun him, that can really contribute to a lot of extra damage. So that's not, it's not too
Okay,
bad.
so what decks are they running in this next match?
You got Johnny versus Naruto Uzamaki is coming up next.
Naruto's back.
Yeah, fourth time?
Yeah, fourth time. It's been a little bit since we saw them, and it was. He's also a member of Hammers Esports, a good friend of Backstab. I even went to Korean barbecue with him. Very nice guy.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
Delicious.
Nice. That was delicious.
You met Naruto Uzamaki.
He was here for the King's Cup. Actually, I met a lot of great players when they were in town for the King's Cup, including Backstab, Clyde, Flash. A lot of the members up there on the board, they're so good, and they know they're so good, that when big prize pool tournaments come around, they're gonna, go find their way to Los Angeles and see if they can't take home some of that money. And we went out and had some discussions about high-level Clash Royale.
Ooh, wow.
Pretty fun. It's the best
Top
tournament
hats
ever.
and monocles and...
Yes, at Korean barbecue. Very sure.
And baby dragons, apparently.
I would love to see that scene.
Johnny is actually, I believe, another member of Altar of Elites. I could be wrong, but I believe so. I guess we'll find out when we actually see the game. But he's running decks very similar to Ash, which is what makes me say that. Ash was running a Golem Graveyard and Lava Hound Graveyard. We didn't see the Lava Hound deck because he got 2-0'd, but Johnny has a very similar set of decks.
How does he make that, bless you, work for him? Because it didn't work for Ash.
Well,
apparently.
I mean, Golem Graveyard's done really well. I mean, we've definitely seen that do well, right? Golem Graveyard. Actually, no, all the Golem Graveyard decks have lost today.
Oh no!
Is somebody finally finding a counter for that?
In my head, I feel like the Golem Graveyard decks were winning, and then those players, their other decks, were losing 2 matches. Because we've seen the Graveyard take down a whole bunch of towers today, right?
Yeah.
So I think it was the other decks not working out. Ash, though, did get 2-0'd, I think, by a giant Graveyard deck. So you live by the Graveyard, you die by the Graveyard.
That's right.
Uzamaki.
Quote.
Running the meta. Actually, Naruto Uzamaki, we've seen him before. He is someone who almost always runs the most popular meta decks, and there's nothing wrong with that, right?
Yeah.
He's one of those great players to have in a clan where you say, man, Giant Bowler is really popular. Does anyone here play Giant Bowler?
He's
the
like,
whole clan
I got
goes, I'm too cool for school, I don't play that deck. Well, then how do you ever practice against it? Uzamaki was known as a very great Giant Poison player. Now he is running the Baby Dragon, Golem Lightning, the most popular Golem deck that we've really been seeing over the last few weeks, and Giant Bowler Lightning, also super popular. So we'll see how he does. See if he can play them in unique ways to overcome the graveyard decks that are starting to pop out.
Serenity, talk to me about what does your training regimen look like for Clash Royale, right? You wake up in the morning, you have your full breakfast, most important meal of the day, right? Eggs, orange juice, you got Clash Royale up on your phone.
We both do.
Yeah. All that rum and ham turns out not that great for you.
Yeah. Do you just stay with one deck consistently until you see one that beats you? And you're like, oh, that's actually a great idea. Or do you always change? Are you with the meta? Are you against the meta? What's your kind of play style?
Well, not that I'm a competitor, but if I was training to compete, then I would want to make sure that I know the situations that I'm going to get myself into, right? Golem Baby Dragon, priority number 1. Golem Graveyard, priority number 2.
List the threats.
And for the most part, Expo would have probably been a big priority as well. A lot of it comes down to really understanding what you're going to be facing against and playing against those decks. Of course, that's just the first step, right? Because then beyond that, you need to be ready for things like Barbarian Hut. You need to be ready for, when Graveyard was not released, Graveyard decks, right? You need to be ready for all these edge cases, because as we've seen so many times in the Coronation days, one player makes it to the end, makes it to the finals, and he happens to be playing a deck that you're not familiar with. That could be your undoing. All your hard work gets undone just by the fact that you happen to not understand what the deck you were playing against does and how to play against it effectively. And I think if you're really looking to improve yourself as a player and try to make sure you understand what you're doing, you need to play more like a Marcel P, right? You need to play like more of these players on the wall where you're trying to minimize risks at all possible moments. You do not leave anything up to chance if you are a competitive player.
Yeah.
You are in control of every single situation that you are put up against. At the very least, you minimize as much of the risk as you can.
And I love, as a final note, we're about to go into the next game, but as a final note, I love that Uzamaki is willing to play meta decks, because one of the worst things that you can do as a competitive player is say, that's cheap, that's cheesy, I'm not gonna play it. Because you know what, like, scoreboard, buddy, When there's,
There's a reason
money
it's
on the
good.
board, title's gonna go in. Why would you artificially put restrictions on yourself? So good for him for
Is
playing.
Baby Dragon not worth $15,000?
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, I don't. Golem's only for people who are cheap. Well, the cheap people got some money to spend,
Yeah.
so don't worry about it.
All right, well, here we go, guys. Our final round of 8. It is Johnny versus Naruto Uzamaki. Altar of Elites versus Hammer Esports. Let's see who will be moving on to the semifinals.
And I guessed right. That is Ash's clanmate. So 2 members of Ultra Elites, 2 members of Hammers Esports in today's top 8. Pretty good.
Johnny. All right, Johnny.
Johnny.
Here's.
The rarest Johnny, no H.
Oh, that's a good point.
It's Joni.
Jo-
No, it's Joni's probably. Wow, what a push.
Oh man, Graveyard is
This
so
is a pretty
good.
scary counter. I mean, that was a lot of damage. You got to be happy doing 1,500 damage on the
Look at
opening
this
push, but
coming against
good
you.
luck stopping this.
Yeah, seriously.
Uh-oh.
Wow, what was that?
Get out of here,
arrow
Ice
for?
Golem. Get out of here.
That was a pretty stinky arrows we just saw right there.
There's
by
still
Naruto. I'm not
a
sure what he
lot
was
of
worried
stuff
about.
on the board. Wow, the bowler somehow got pushed more than the archers, and then the archers got shot down by the tower before the bowler was able to waddle its way back up.
I believe it was that the bowler got hit first and then got knocked back, and the tower could then lock on to the archers for that split second. We see that actually a lot with giant Mega Minion pushes. People will log. Not that log does a good amount of damage to giant or anything, but if it knocks the giant out of the tower range, the tower will immediately relock on the Mega Minion and shoot that thing down, which is much better.
Oh, wow.
Because otherwise, if you place it in front of the giant, the Mega Minion starts to kill it.
Mega Minion, we've seen how much damage it does when it touches the tower. Each swing.
Oh no, Bowler's getting pushed into range. Bowler was happy to sit there and roll his rock out of harm's way.
Giant says no, you get it. You take the shots first.
It's a human shield. Very rude giant.
Very mean.
Ooh, big zap, clearing out all the skeletons. One archer needs to work a little bit harder. Mega Minion gets distracted. And this archer, oh no, doesn't quite get in range before before the other archers walk in front. Guard the tower a little bit, but still a pretty good push for Naruto.
Dun, 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 dun.
I love the music.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, got the archers.
Bowler's
Christian's
body
father
actually
was a
tanks some
mortician.
shots.
Oh, now do you see there the bowler A-OK at when it actually does get the rolls off, it does a lot of damage. The catch with graveyards is because skeletons pop up one at a time, the bowler can turn outside of the graveyard and sort of roll the rock, only killing like 1 or 2
one,
skeletons.
yeah.
And because it only does it every 2.5 seconds, there's 5 skeletons that pop up in that
Never
time
turn
frame.
your back when zombies are coming out of the ground.
It's true. That's what my father
That's why archers.
Our family
Your
has lots
family is
of,
full of
lots
advice.
of relevant advice.
A lot of
tonight.
wisdom in
Yeah,
our
yeah.
families.
There was hesitation when you said that. I'm starting to doubt that your family says all these things.
I had to think of new family members for each one. My grandmother
My
died. I
great-
have to call
my
in
great
sick.
aunt?
Yeah.
Wow. Naruto
Oh!
cycles down the tower. I actually think it's so interesting right now. Graveyard is really coming to me. It's much more of an opportunistic card,
Yeah.
right? And I almost think that it's like an upgraded version of Goblin Barrel in many ways, right? You want to make sure that when you commit your graveyard, you have a track of what cards your opponent has in hand and know that he's out of options. One of the things that I think really hurt Johnny in that game is that Bowler was played, he played the graveyard on top of the Bowler, and then Archers were played as well. Not only did the Bowler and the Archers take down a lot of the skeletons, but the Bowler's body, as well as the Archers' bodies, blocked a lot of the skeleton swings, and so no damage actually went onto the tower. And that really, really hurts because you're not actually removing Elixir from the board because they're still alive doing damage, and you just spent 5 and got no tower damage for it.
In a lot of ways, it is an upgraded Goblin Barrel, and it's also sort of a different flavor of Minion Horde. Minion Horde's a card that you just never play if you know they're holding Fire Spirits, arrows, any sort of card like that. But sometimes the arrows comes out and Minion Horde on the field. Sometimes just at the river, because why not? It's going to do a lot of damage. In this same way, if you see Archers, Log, something like that come out, it's time to throw a graveyard.
Sure. Now, we're getting into game number 2 here. Naruto Uzumaki is up 1-0 against Johnny. If he takes the next one, he will be moving on to the semifinals to face off against Brian RT.
And we're going to see a Golem on Golem, the heavyweight title match of the world here.
Was that the first time we've seen arrows finish off a tower?
Maybe.
Possibly.
Arrows does like 99 damage, so there's rare opportunities
Barely
for
more than that.
it to be there, yeah.
All right. Well done, Naruto.
Fist bump time.
Push, 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 push.
I wonder what's better here, because he's already got the Archers and Baby Dragon doing a good amount of damage to that. Golem, it's gonna be, oh, the archers are too far up. Oh, he's got to rely on Ice Golem to protect it. The archers will turn around pretty soon, though, but how much damage can get done to
Look
the
at the back, look at the back. Oh, and the log comes in at just the right time to mitigate a lot of that damage, but still.
Seems like he spent a lot on that.
Yeah, and it depends. I think he's going to take a little bit of damage here on the counter push. The question is, of course, how much? Is it more than 2012? Looks like it's going to be.
Good year.
Yep, look at archers.
1865. It was a year.
Even better.
Depends on, I guess, which side of the war you're on.
Oh,
Get some American history
There
that
was
was running.
definitely no Clash Royale. in
Perspectives.
1865.
Perspectives.
Yeah. All right, so here we go. We got another set of golems coming down the river. Now, Johnny doesn't want that to keep happening, right? He wants to avoid the push where you do okay, but you take about 150, 200 more damage on the counter push, right?
1865 also come near. It started on a Sunday. Fun fact.
Neato, we're looking at fun facts all the time.
Oh, wow.
Thanks tonight.
Now, great log right there, because that's going to allow his golem at mostly, not full health, but it will get close enough to explode on the archers and of course, on the tower.
I think he's. Oh, the log, the pushback on the golem. He's got a lot of skeletons tagged onto the golem. Oh no, that's exactly what you want.
There's
not
still
to happen.
two skeletons.
But watch the archers. They
You
got
only need a few
bunch of
skeletons.
shots.
It doesn't, if you get that huge swarm of skeletons, you blow up the tower, and that feels really satisfying.
Yeah.
But you only need about
It's amazing how
2 to
much
4
damage
skeletons
they do.
and some time, and you'll take it down.
Every time I'm surprised by that. Like, oh, there's only two. Oh, they're killing the tower.
Yep.
Just like the lone minion phenomenon. Where
Yeah.
there's a miner and just one minion, and the minion's like, I'm gonna do 1,000 damage just by myself.
Uh-oh, Baby Dragon, see if the archers can come down behind it. They do pop. This is why Fireball is often really popular in graveyard decks, because the thing you're worried about most is usually a minion horde or archers, and Fireball takes care of both.
Oh.
Oh, wow. that's a
Golem
full
makes it
health
to the
golem.
tower, and I think this is putting Naruto in almost a checkmate situation. I can't see how he'll do enough damage to that right side tower, and even if he did, the left side tower is down now. The right side tower is practically
What
down.
are you
It's
gonna
lightningable.
do?
The last card in his deck is lightning. Last card in both their decks are
Johnny
lightning.
literally does not need to defend at this point.
Here we go.
see that's
Naruto, Uzamaki gonna go down a game. Johnny gonna tie it up 1-1. We're going into game number 3 to see who will be our final semifinalists of this Coronation number 12.
Never
Uzumaki-
let your
What's
guard
next?
down against
What-
Graveyard.
What do they have to
Ooh,
play
we
now?
get to see the Lava Hound Graveyard deck that we didn't get to see out of Ash because he got 2 out of the same deck. So
yes.
Uzumaki still playing Golem, Johnny playing Lava Hound. Now here's the catch. In this deck, you generally want to put the Lava Hound in the same lane as the Golem, but you don't want to be the first one to cast your tank. Like, you don't want to just play Lava Hound because they will happily go the opposite lane with Golem.
Right.
You want to go the same lane.
Okay.
Because they're going to pass by and you put all of your air units on top of the Golem, kill it, and then they chase to catch up with the Lava Hound.
What's tough about that though is if you wait, right? We always talk about Golem thriving in double XP or double elixir. So it's like, all right, you're kind of giving your opponent all right, fine, I'm happy. You don't want to play first? I'll wait.
To be fair, Lava Hound and Golem are much more similar than something like a Giant Boulder deck. I think the Lava Hound deck also kind of thrives in double elixir time, so
Yeah.
it's not the end of the world if, well, it would be boring if they waited, if they just sat there and leaked elixir till double
seen
elixir.
it a couple times,
But
so,
I don't think that'll actually happen here. I think Johnny definitely wants to be a little more aggressive.
All right, Rainey, my question as we go into game number 3 is best way, if you have any card you want in your hand, best way to defend against a Lava Hound.
A structure and then arrows.
Okay?
No, don't tell them that. I have a Lava Hound deck.
There we go.
I got a Lava Hound too.
Archers are really popular as well. Most Lava Hound decks run a miner. This one does not, but it runs Graveyard instead. But many of them do run miner, and miner is actually great when the archers come down just like that. He can just dig up right in front of the archers and give them the old shovel.
Ooh, Fireball is another way to do it.
I feel like getting fancy.
Real fancy.
Let's see if these all pups, they contribute an
Wow,
extra
3
couple
of them
hundred
tag
damage.
on.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
And 2 lowish health troops. Look how fast the baby dragon flies.
It is a fast troop. Not very fast, like Mr. Lumberjack and Hog Rider, but still pretty good. What I love about Baby Dragon is you're able to play it on defense with a tank ahead, and it quickly catches up. And as long as the tank is locked onto the tower, you're happy. That's when the fast is great, because it catches up and overruns it.
Speaking of speed, is that, again, now that we've seen Rage, we've seen Lumberjack. When a Rage spell is dropped, does that increase the movement by just like 1 notch? Or does it slow become, medium? Does fast become very fast?
It is 35%. So it's not necessarily a flat
Jump
unit
to the
level
next-
upgrade,
okay,
right?
gotcha.
So it depends. So what's really good about that is very fast troops get like ridiculously fast.
Crazy fast.
Yeah, and slow troops definitely get a significant move speed.
Ooh, a bunch of skeletons make it to the tower on Johnny's end, and that's one of the rare cases where you see Tombstone converting in a big way.
Yeah. There we go. Naruto Uzamaki taking down a tower 11-10. Not even to double elixir yet.
Johnny tried to push all in as Naruto was, and ended up taking the underside of that trade.
We are just now hitting double elixir time, though, and he might be all right. Ooh, I don't know about... Oh, wow. Good timing. I think they probably had their finger on the screen at the same time. The River Lava Hound has a very good chance of taking this tower down, because there's only so much the opponent can do.
Look at how many skeletons are there. Fireball is going to remove... Oh, only remove
Misses
one of the
archer.
archers. But I think the Lava Hound pop is going to...
No.
No, actually, the Baby Dragon and archers are actually far back placed enough that I think it's questionable whether the pups will actually tag onto the tower, and they don't.
Yeah, Fireball's already gone, so I'm not sure what he does. 328 still on that tower. 30 seconds left. Johnny has to find something to do, or he is getting knocked out. And Naruto will be going on to the semifinals.
And at this point, I think Johnny is dead in the water, because even if he, let's say that was within Fireball range, you can't afford 4 elixir right now.
Yeah.
Tossed at a tower to finish it off.
Yep. And look at that Golem full health. That Mega Man is swinging away. Naruto's actually going to get 2. He's 10 seconds left. He's going to go for that 3 crown. He's going for it. Look at all those.
Oh, he's going to go for it.
He's trying. 3, 2, 1. And Naruto Uzamaki finishing in style. And our final round of 8. He is moving on. Our final semifinalist. Congratulations.
Congrats.
How many?
Pretty nice.
How many 3 crowns do we have now? I know you're the tracker.
I think it's 4. I think it's our 4th,
Yeah.
maybe 5th, but I think it's probably 4th.
Feel bad for Johnny.
Doesn't happen a lot.
Another double graveyard player goes down, and actually, Lava Hound. If I was Mad Stocks Jim Cramer hitting the button guy, I'd be sell Lava Hound. We haven't seen Lava Hound do very well. I believe it won a recent Coronation Day, but it wasn't really the stronger of the 2 decks of that player. Don't tell. Earmuffs. It's great.
Good. Lava Hound.
Okay, so I have a crazy
legendary
question. Bear with me. Is there ever a place for Baby Dragon in my Lava Hound deck?
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, it's actually really good there. Because one of the things you're afraid of the most is things like minions, Minion Horde. So when they get played and they lock on to the Lava Hound, Baby Dragon just cleans them up real quick. And
I'm not crazy.
Baby Dragon's pretty tanky, so when the Lava Hound turns into pups,
he can take the tower.
The Baby Dragon is the one there to take the hit. So actually, I think that's one of the best cards you can play with Lava Hound.
We will talk after this. Let's check out our first replay. Got some giants and bowlers and little skellies in there.
His best friends.
Naruto continues to demonstrate why he is so good at playing the meta decks. Giant Bowler is a combo that he's been playing ever since the days of Poison, and now he's converted that into the days of Giant Bowler Lightning, and he's still doing incredibly well.
Graveyard.
It's really all about elixir advantage, and that's really the big way that Naruto likes to play. He likes to keep it honest. He doesn't go for super tricky lines of play. He really just looks to defend your cards with his own cards incredibly effectively, and then push you down with a giant, push you down with a big body.
Yeah, definitely one of the premier tank players in the game, and very consistent. I mean, one of the key things we sort of saw there was he dropped a River Golem near the end of the last game, and his opponent, Johnny, is looking to get back to a log, fireball, something like that in order to try to close that game out, and instead, he had to drop the Mega Minion right at the river to block the Golem. Well, immediately Uzamaki goes, nah, Mega Minion,
fine.
Follow it up, I'm gonna kill yours.
problem.
And that's key to all those tank pushes, is to make sure that your supporting units are killing their defensive troops. You're fine if the tank is taking damage, but that's what happens.
All right, Naruto showing why the meta is so strong right now. We've got our 4 semifinalists. Let's pull the bracket and take a look. Rumham, Rainy, it's Derek, it's Middle Sky, it's Brian RT, and our man Naruto Uzumaki. So far highlights that have been sticking out to you guys?
I think there are a few thoughts in my head right now after watching all these decks play out. Goblin Barrel is becoming a card that I feel like is actually settling itself, changing its identity, becoming kind of like a, I should say like maybe a mainstay card, kind of one that just is a go-to pickup if you're trying to do any kind of spell bait. Barbarian Hut as kind of the first ever, I mean, we've never heard the words rocket bait or lightning bait. Like that just doesn't really exist.
Yeah.
But in many ways, a 3 Musketeer Barbarian Hut, I don't know if there's a better way to describe it. It really is preying on the fact that there's only one spell that's like lightning, and unless you're picking up Mirror, you're not gonna have 2 instances of the spell unlike Zap or Arrows or Log, there's so many different cards that provide that clearing effect for cards like Skeleton Army, Minion Horde, Minions, Goblin Barrel. What do you do against Three Musketeer and Barbarian Hut once you've used your Lightning? There's nothing left in your hand.
Yeah, Ice Golem in that deck as well.
Sparky.
Good at grabbing one of the lightning bolts.
Well, let us know on Twitter what your favorite card tonight has been.
Yeah.
I'm pretty about that Barb Hut.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
It's in my best deck.
I'm loving the new stuff we're seeing.
And actually, is Hog the new Golem? We only have one Golem deck in the top 4. 3 Hog
The
decks,
meta
3
continues
Giant
to
decks,
shift.
and a Golem deck.
Man,
So
I
many
love
changes.
this. I love this so much. I hope you guys are enjoying this as well. Do not go anywhere. We're going to a quick break. When we come back, our first semifinal match, Derek versus Middle Sky. Don't go anywhere. Barbarian High, extra Goblin.
These are the rules of the duel. All duels must have appropriately epic music.
Clash Royale! Bigger fights with everyone! Clash Royale! It's got lightning and skeletons! Duel players in real time! Destroy towers in real time!
While your troops take a stand, now you've got the upper hand. Destroy the king in the ground and clash!
Royale!
That was a rule of the duel, a most ridiculous duel. Clash Royale. These are the rules of the duel. Anything goes in the arena, and anything goes inside the Goblin Hunt. Anything. A most ridiculous duel. Clash Royale. These are the rules of the duel. The grass in the arena must be properly cut. It's a full-time job. That was the rule of the duel. A most ridiculous duel. Clash Royale. These are the rules of the duel. The winner takes the loser's trophies. And their dignity. That was a rule of the duel. A most ridiculous duel. Clash Royale.
Good evening, Clashers and Clashettes. Welcome back to the official Supercell Clash Royale North American Open. We are here in the semifinals. Before the break, we asked you to submit haikus for us to read here on stream, and you guys did not disappoint. We have an amazing one. So let's go over to Ella in the haiku corner.
Hello. So this one is from 724.
Slid 724.
Ahem. The mighty Barb Hut let out the barbarians. Barb's for president.
Hey!
Topical.
Well done.
Topical, yes.
Barb's for president.
Very on topic. Very on topic indeed. All right, guys, we are here in the semifinals. I guess my mic was on, so we can just do that again. Ready? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Clash Royale North American Open. We're here in the semifinals. Let's go over to Ella with haiku. Oh, we did it. Hey, now we're in the semifinals here. It's Derek versus Middle Sky and Naruto Uzamaki versus Brian RT. So far, who you giving it to? Who's the guy who's playing just a little notch above the rest?
It's going to be Derek versus who?
First up, Derek versus Middle Sky.
Oh, okay. Derek for okay. This is a good question.
Two broadcasts
are they
ago,
playing?
you were spot on. Last broadcast, you were dead wrong.
I was the curse.
Yeah, well, so they call it the caster curse, right? That's the thing.
All four of these people have been here before and have at least, I think actually all of them have at least made the top 4 before as well. So, a lot of veteran choices. No easy pick here.
Derek, Middle Sky, Brian RT, Naruto, Uzumaki.
Yeah.
Give me the deck rundown again.
Derek, we've got Hog Graveyard and Giant Bowler Lightning against Minor Goblin Barrel Zap Bait and a Giant Furnace Graveyard deck.
All right.
That's the first one. Uzumaki has the Golem deck and the Giant Bowler deck, right? Giant Bowler Lightning, Golem Baby Dragon Lightning. Against Brian RT's Barb Hut 3 Musketeers and Brian RT's Hog Fireball Cycle deck.
I think we have to go with the Barb Huts because we
Yes,
just read a haiku about them.
I think the Barb Hut is going to be a choice, but I'm trying to figure out on the top end of the semifinals.
What's the choice?
Well, we're going to have to pick one for the semis on top and one for the semis on bottom. For the semis on bottom, I think I'm going with Barb Hut. I think that it's a good card used effectively, and I think that opponents are not going to have as much experience with it. On top of it, I actually don't think it's even a gimmick. That's the thing. I think it's actually a very solid choice.
A decent card.
Yeah. So it's going to give whoever is Brian RT's opponent a lot of trouble. Between Derek and Middle Sky, though, I'm a little more on the fence. I like Goblin Barrel, so that's my personal bias, but is that actually going to be the more effective deck? I'm not sure. How many spells are there to bait?
Making Rainy think.
Well, I think, you know what? I'm going to go with probably Derek and Uzumaki, and I think Derek might actually win the whole thing, claiming the first win for Elite Gaming. Elite Gaming has not yet taken home one of their titles. I think he's got a good shot at it. His decks match up pretty well looking at the field. And, but you know, all of these decks are really good. We've definitely seen a lot of situations where one deck looks amazing and then the other deck just can't pull out a win against the 2 decks of the opponent. So
we'll see.
Well, it's going to come down to skill on the battlefield as usual.
Alrighty, first up in our semifinals, Derek and Middle Sky. Let us know in chat who you think is going to take this one.
There's Le Furnace.
One.
Didn't get the tower.
That's damaged. Now that Mega Minion will not make it.
Yep. Interesting that he just chose to use the log there. He just did it.
All right, so this is the Hog Graveyard deck.
Wow,
Are we going to
that's
see a
the
graveyard?
perfect situation. Oh my God! Have you seen a Hog Ice Golem combo be more effective? That
wiped out an entire army?
Yep, it sure did.
Oh, wow.
Now, here's the thing. Archers are off the field. If he wants, he could always get a graveyard on defense. And the other opportunity there might...
Double graveyard!
Whoa.
And the archers that are so good at fighting him are actually locked
Oh my
onto-
God!
No!
Wow.
Look at how many skills
Oh, they just keep coming!
And I think it might be it for that tower.
Just like that.
My
Middle Sky
prediction, right in the
picking up an
garbage
early
can.
one. Well, it's not over
heard
yet.
you.
It's not over yet.
I made him nervous.
You made him nervous.
It was like Rum Hams believing in me. The faith of all the hams. It's on my back. Nah, it's all right.
Interesting that he put, I guess he's playing the Furnace defensively. Doesn't really want to push that right side tower. He's going to do it, I think, if the situation arises. Oh, Hog jump to avoid the Furnace.
Oh, we're going to see it again.
Wow.
Well, maybe not. Because those skeletons actually got locked onto the Hog Rider.
Yes.
That's good though. Middle Sky learned from his defense. I mean, that's what we talk about a lot in Clash Royale, about how pattern recognition is so important. And the first time Middle Sky really got caught off guard, and he's like, I can't have that happen again.
Learning. What's interesting is that both of these players have a very similar win rate percentage. Now that percentage is how many games they won and lost, making it all the way to the top 8. And so if they swept 2-0, then they would have had a 100% win rate, but they've lost a few games here and there, but they're about equal. So
and they're also equal on their trophy count too, just 10,
Oh, wow.
10
Yeah.
trophies
That's
difference.
really
between
close.
They
them.
actually might have fought on the ladder before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. Oh my god, that log just took down a lot of skeletons.
And you see how ineffective sometimes Graveyard can be. Such a high risk, high reward card. In that case, his opponent countered it with 6 Elixir, a Skeleton Army, and Archers. While he spent a little more, no real damage taken on the tower, and the Archers get the counter push a little bit.
Yes, and that might be a very intentional choice by Middle Sky as well. He just wants to make sure he doesn't get any damage on his tower. Oh, Ice Golem's leading the way! Leading the way, Ice Golem! Oh! That death damage is a little wider. I mean, that looked cool, but what really sucks is that Derek is about to take a Graveyard to the face.
Right, and that's
Super
because
sucks.
he has to spend 6 Elixir on the right side to defend it. That is 6 less Elixir than he has here in the last 10 seconds of the game to try to pull this out, and it looks like
Yikes.
Derek's going to drop the first game.
Derek got shut out. Now, Middle Sky's alternate deck is the Goblin Barrel deck, right?
Correct.
It's going to be very interesting to see which deck Derek chooses to match up against that, because I don't know if there's necessarily a good option for either of the choices that he makes.
Yeah, I mean, worth mentioning, Middle Sky is playing a giant deck that is very different from a lot of the giant decks we've already seen, running Skeleton Army and Graveyard, really looking to get those zaps, logs out of your hand and punish you with whichever he's got remaining. I'm always happy to see kind of homebrew, different versions of decks. This is definitely not your daddy's giant deck.
No, my dad doesn't play this game.
My dad just copies things off the internet. He's in that deck.
So how does Derek dig himself out of this hole? Your champion here.
Against this Goblin Barrel deck, ooh, actually, it's looking pretty tough. I mean, he does have Log and Fireball and Archers in the Hog deck we just saw. His other deck has Arrows, Log, Tombstone Bowler. I might play the Giant Bowler deck here. We've seen how good Bowler can be against Goblin Barrel. You play it in the very, very far back
Against
wall.
all of them.
The rock
Yeah.
it's like a log. You spend 3 more than a log, and you get to keep a Bowler to take with you.
Yeah, it's a great trade.
Great
Not
trade.
bad.
Now, even with that value Ice Golem that goes off, taking the entire Skeleton Army, he still was not able to take down that game. What was it? Just the Graveyards being a little bit better on the side against Derek? Was that what it really came down
The
to?
thing is, it's very different to take a lot of damage on your tower and then play the game out from there, and actually lose a tower and then try to play the game out from there. Difference being, once Middle Sky knew that he took the tower down, he actually just sits back and says, I am not taking any risks. I'm never going to expect to push across the bridge. I'm going to spend all my elixir defending all the time, and I'm only going to push across the bridge if I know you're going to commit elixir on defense and waste elixir not attacking me, right? That changes up the dynamic of the game. If the tower is just badly damaged, then Middle Sky would still need to think about, okay, eventually I still need to attack again and take the tower down, but that just wasn't a consideration for us.
Oh, great Fireball! Oh, one minion survives, killed by the Mega Minion.
This
This
is
could
gonna
be a
hurt.
tower, too.
This is
Oh,
gonna
Princess.
hurt.
Princess
Oh,
is
she
doing
missed
best.
a lot of them.
The downside of any sort of the targeting in Clash Royale is that she's going to target the closest troop to her. The princess is not looking to hit as many skeletons as possible, so in that very, very closest skeleton, she really only gets half of her splash radius worth of skeletons.
What a read, and also such a risk. How did Derek even know that Minion Horde would have been in Middle Sky's hand? It could have very well not have been an option, and then it would have just been a fireball
Oh,
into nothing.
that's right.
Now, to be fair, they've already seen a couple cards cycled through. The Log had already come out, the Skeleton Army had
It's
already come out,
likely, yes.
Inferno Tower had already come out, so he could say pretty confidently, like, you probably have it in your
Yeah.
hand.
But a great prediction.
1994.
nonetheless. Oh, missed one.
The
Now,
year-
what I want to
anyone
see
born that year?
against Bowler is playing the
Yeah,
miner behind the Bowler to turn him around, and then Goblin Barrel in front so that they don't get rolled over by the Bowler. That's what I want to see against these Bowler plays. There's so many ways you can do miner Goblin Barrel.
Wow.
I don't think they're going to die
guess
to
you
that.
just showed me the answer to my question.
22-14, anyone born in that year?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, Martha Johnston, born in 2014. Huge person.
This
Huge Clash Royale
Yeah.
legend.
Huge legend.
Now, here's the thing, he's been using this log to kill the princess when something like archers or mega minion would suffice as well, and he leaves himself wide open, like, now, what are you gonna, you're not gonna log that skeleton army, right?
Yes.
You're not going to log the Goblin Barrel that's thrown at your tower right about nowish.
There it is. And it's a mind game.
Oh, actually, he would have been better off just surrounding because there wasn't a log. Look at the Goblin gets
tags
on.
him. Yep, tags onto the tower. Still, that's a long road ahead of him. I mean, this game has completely turned on its head. In the first game, Middle Sky was at such an advantage. Now Derek really holds a position of power.
Yeah. Here, 25 seconds left. What can Derek do?
And you never count these Zap Bait decks out. They can usually do some of the most incredible amounts of damage you've ever seen in a short period of time because they rely so heavily on these high damage, high risk, high reward cards that can usually work out.
Double Princess.
But today, not so much.
Yeah.
That's it. 5 seconds left. It looks like we're going into game 3 here in the semifinals. Derek picking up that one. A little fireball. Inferno Tower right in the back. What a great placement. Look at that Inferno Tower placement. One step closer, both of these players are to $2,000. The chance to go on to the crown duels.
What are we seeing next?
Well, next up is going to be the Giant Boulder Lightning deck for Derek. And I said that I didn't think Derek's deck had a really good matchup, but I think the way he won that was that he took a tower early.
Yeah.
I mean, early in the game, that tower was down to near dead after the very first push, and then he could spend all of his energy, as Rainey pointed out in the past, just defending. Like at that point, you can just all right, cool, I don't have to cast Graveyard, I don't have to cast Hog Rider, I just have to make sure that I don't get completely pwned by a Skeleton Army, Goblin Barrel, something like that. And he did. Beyond that point, played good defense, won the game, and probably snuck out a win with the worst matchup of his two decks.
Oh wow, so this
He's
is
much more
a little bit better.
Second. Well, he has both arrows and log in this deck to go along with Musketeer, Bowler, Tombstone, etc. So he has double spells. It's going to be that much harder for Middle Sky to pull out a win with this Zap Bait deck.
So you could still not be wrong.
I'm never wrong.
Somebody write that one
the
down.
The best face that happened right after that was probably my favorite part.
Are they buying it?
I'm not wrong. Okay, moving on.
The wizard arrives precisely when he means to.
That's right. That's my favorite movie. All right. So, how hard is it, Rainey, how hard is it to mind game with a Goblin Barrel? Like, what do you think the skill level is to make sure that you make it so your opponent is going to miss a log, miss a zap?
It's very, very difficult. I think mind games are something that you need to always do just because you want to make sure that you're eking out every little advantage that you can get.
Sure.
Yeah, but oftentimes it's only just for one extra stab on all your goblins. Sometimes that can make a difference, but really you're not gonna. That's why it's so exciting when you see a mind game that's incredibly effective, because really the gains that you're expecting to get is just a tiny bit of damage more.
I believe Tornado might be out as soon as now. If not, it's very soon. But what's a cool thing we saw about what you can do with Tornado, if you notice the Bowler was knocking back the Miner, pretty cool. If Miner is ever played on the bottom or inside lane of a tower, you can use Tornado to pull the Miner onto your King Tower and have the Miner activate the King Tower.
Oh, that's amazing.
Wow.
Which makes it real hard for future miners.
That's amazing.
Yep. Pull on the ladder up from the mine.
Oh.
I think you might be able to do the same with Stab Goblins, except that the Tornado kills.
Oh, that's sad day. Oh, misclick on the Miner?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh no.
It's not magic, it's a shovel.
Oh no.
Where's the lightning? There it is.
But Skeleton Army's going to chew through that. He doesn't have log. This is
And
one of the other
unfortunately-
benefits of Spellbreak.
Was lucky for Middle Sky to pull the Mega Minion just in range of the tower so that it got shot. If it was sitting there just outside of tower range, it would have killed those skeletons all the same, but then maybe threatened the tower, and instead, off the board.
Opts to play the Musketeer instead of the log, and probably the better choice because now he has an option against Skeleton Army and Goblin Barrel.
Oh, wow.
This Musketeer is
It's a
gonna be
really
really
good minion horde. You gotta arrow it.
No, chooses not to.
Possibly
There's
even
the
have it
Miner
in
to
hand.
defend.
There it is.
Yes, has to use arrows. I mean, the arrows is going to be their best answer in that scenario.
Just going back in time here on this tower. 1550.
Here
I've
comes
been
a
playing
log.
Civ 6, and that's a year that
Gets a stab out.
Yes.
16, 18, 16, hey, 1669, Fire of London.
Look at that.
About it.
Clash Royale.
That's not true at all, actually.
New game where you learn potential history.
Yeah. If you listen to
probably
me,
not.
you're learning nothing. Oh, great job to turn around the Bowler there. Oh, Miner
What
hits the Bowler
happened?
down. Well, the Mega Minion was going to kill it before the Bowler's next swing, so the Bowler
gotcha.
turned around and started swinging again.
Gonna lightning that,
Ooh.
but only the Inferno Tower, and that actually might hurt.
Pretty sure it could have hit the tower. That might have been an accident by Middle Sky. Maybe getting a little nervous because we've already seen one mistake, and that's a very common thing is to go on tilt. You make one mistake and you start to make another mistake and another. Start to compound your mistakes because you get nervous and you are so focused on not screwing up that you screw up.
Gonna have to play the log here. Unless he doesn't have it in hand, and these goblins are getting a lot of stabs, plus the miner, and that might put it into spell cycle range.
Oh, missed again.
And the fireball on top misses the Mega Minion, and that might hurt, but nothing played in front of it. Interesting enough, look at how much damage is separated in these final moments of this match. That might be the nail in the coffin for Derek.
Yeah, they both seem to be making some unfortunate outcomes here. Trying to, like, missing their fireballs, missing their lightnings.
That miner's doing a lot.
That's it.
Oh, that's
Final for the win, and it's gonna be Middle Sky taking down Derek in the semifinals. He becomes our first finalist here of Coronation number 12. One step closer to $2,000.
Congratulations.
My pick. my picks.
My picks.
Middle Sky, does that make the third Goblin Barrel deck in the finals in a row?
I think it is. Goblin Barrel
Yeah.
is really
Killing
making
it.
really showing that
Goblin
they are
barrels
here.
are doing
Green is the new
work.
black.
Green is the new Expo. Yeah.
Not only has Skeleton Army become a very popular card being used in tournament-winning decks, Goblin Barrel is now also a card being used in tournament-winning decks. And Goblin Barrel wasn't even touched in the patch.
No. Goblin Barrel, yeah, you're right. Goblin Barrel hasn't been changed in a while. Actually, fun fact, if you're new to the game, Goblin Barrel used to cost 4 elixir and be one of the worst cards in the game. But it got reduced to
And
3
now it's
elixir.
awesome.
And now, yeah, not only is it good on its own, but it gets exceptionally powerful in situations where opponents are playing a lot of elixir that doesn't defend itself in the back. These
Throw it in.
decks, very low elixir cost. Every card in that deck, aside from the Inferno Tower and the Mega Minion, costs 4 or less. And you're able to just cycle.
gotta do
Faster
it.
than your opponent can defend.
Okay, well, let's take out our first replay, Giant Graveyard.
The
Double Graveyard.
Yes, double graveyard, and just look at how fast these skeletons, they're just like, party? I heard there was a party. And they just suddenly all appeared. It's basically what happens when people hear I have food in my apartment. They're just hey, just wanted
Neighbors,
to reconnect.
strangers. Yeah.
And
Do you have your bento boxes?
Exactly.
you sort of see how these decks work. I mean, you saw the arrows come down on the left side, and as soon as that happens, the Goblin Barrel's thrown onto the right side to try and get some more damage in. And it all adds up.
All adds up. Spell cycle, whoop, complete. One of the things, if I may reminisce a little bit, that I just find very interesting is that in all my time casting, spell bait has always been a thing, but it's never been a tournament-winning deck, right? It's been dangerous, but it's never been effective to the point where it's actually relied upon to win you tournaments. In this day and age, where we see 3 spells being played in one deck, never seen before, Spellbait is the better deck to play? I'm not really understanding why. It seems like, hey, everybody's playing more spells, I guess I'll play a Spellbait deck. Doesn't really make sense to me.
It depends also on what the spell is.
Yeah.
So when poison gets replaced by lightning, lightning's both expensive and not very good against those kind of decks. But the thing is that deck, without any new cards coming out, gained a new card in the deck in Skeleton Army that used to be very bad and is now very good, right? So players, imagine, for example, actually I would argue that Log is only really popular because Skeleton Army is so popular. So a lot of people are playing these 2 to 3 spells specifically because if you didn't, Zap Bait would probably be the most powerful deck in the whole thing.
All right, well, we have our first finalist. Let's pull up the bracket. It is going to be Middle Sky moving on. The question is, who will be joining? Will it be Brian RT or will it be Naruto Uzamaki? Brianert.
Whoever it is, one of these 3, they're going to be winning some cash money next week.
Yeah, top prize. $2,000 and that ticket to move on to the arena battles. Then they have a chance to go to the crown duels where $15,000 is first place out of a $100,000 prize pool and that trip to Helsinki to go to visit Supercell HQ.
While you're there, I recommend Naughty Burger.
Yeah.
It's called Naughty Burger.
Great.
It had jalapenos in the burger.
Oh.
In the, like they mashed it up
super
in there.
naughty.
Yep. And everyone, if you've ever been to Scandinavia, it's true, everyone is like 7 foot tall blonde. It's Yeah, like I'm not even kidding. The lady who took my order at Naughty Burger was like 6'5" and a model, and I was like, "What are you doing here?"
That's amazing. All
Why are
right,
you working
so
at
there you go.
Naughty
If you guys want to be a part of that, go to ClashRoyaleOpen.com where you can go over there and meet these awesome people.
Yeah. That'd be so great. Let's pull up the decks for the next match. Who do we have here?
Brian RT versus Naruto Uzamaki. Brian RT fielding the Barbarian Hut.
Yeah.
The talk of the town. Really playing that very effectively alongside the Three Musketeers. Meanwhile, he's actually also running, don't let the Barbarian Hut confuse you, he is also running 2 Hog Riders, which I believe makes him the only other, maybe today there was another player playing double Hog, but the only other player other than Chief Mystical. So maybe Chief Mystical was mystical and
keep in
seeing
mind-
into the future and being like, this is what's going to happen. Double Hog.
Chief Mystical, a member of Hammers Esports, the same as Naruto Uzumaki. So it's possible that
Oh.
Uzumaki has like
Really knows
been
what-
tested against
Yeah.
this and actually knows pretty well how to play against Hog Rider decks. Brian RT is looking to punish the big tanky investments of Uzumaki with those Hog Riders.
Going under.
But if he can't go under, you can always go over with the Barb Hut.
Oh, okay.
That's a lot of barbarians.
7 to 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we'll see what's going in. I personally, I'm like you said, you know, Naruto Uzumaki being so good at running whatever the meta is, right? He's the guy who's like, this is what's good. I'm gonna play it because it's good. So I feel like he might have the best shot. Also, it's Thursday night, and that's when Thursdays is when every new Naruto episode comes out. So I'm gonna give it to Naruto Uzumaki here. Yeah.
Is that true?
There we go. Semifinals: Brian RT versus Naruto Uzumaki. One of these two will be going on to the finals to face off against Middle Sky.
To show how little I know about anime, one time Uzumaki was in the Super Magical Cup, and I
know this story.
legitimately was like, "Ha, you've activated my trap card."
Oh my
and
God.
Rainey looked at me like, "Are you serious?" And I'm like, "Is that a serious question?" No, it's not. Is it true if you don't use it, you lose it?
Well, he is here right now fighting for that chance for $2,000. Let's see if he can take it. Well, Brian RT.
Oh man, good times.
Sorry, Rainey, I watch football.
Boom.
It's okay.
Ball.
It's all right.
Football. Zap going down.
Let's see, it's going. Oh, the tombstone blocks the way.
Give me the hug. Give me the hug. What's the timing? Oh, one Archer
Archer,
survives.
2
That's
shots.
exactly what I was looking for.
Wow.
I knew that the Ice Golem was ready to give his life for the greater good.
I can't help but look at years now. When we look at these, the last time,
I'm so sorry.
the last time we were taking bets, right?
Yeah.
On like which tower would go down, and now I'm just thinking like, do I know any facts
1490.
about that tower half year?
Don't worry, we have the internet. Whatever you want to know, you let me know. I'll look it up for you.
Oh,
2
that's a
years,
card that's really
Columbus
good against
sailed the
Barb
ocean
Hut.
blue.
There you go. There you go. He was probably thinking about it right now, you know? He's probably getting his plans ready.
Getting ready.
Getting the crew
Building
together.
the ship.
Bowler's probably one of the better matchups against the Barbarian Hut right there, because not only are you knocking the barbs back,
you're
but
getting
it's
the damage.
penetrating through and hitting the tower.
That's right.
Right. So not as great, but if another, I don't think the last squad of barbs is going to make it out, especially not with the arrows. Oh yeah, zapping arrows definitely takes it out. Although that was 5 elixir there. Was that really necessary to spend 5 elixir to finish off that barb hut? It seems kind of
Not one punch.
different.
Oh,
Right away.
No.
To greener pastures.
Needed to play it on the left side because if you play it on the left side, the hog will actually jump, making it move a little bit faster.
Oh,
And be invulnerable.
Does it get faster when it jumps?
No, it just covers the geometry.
Oh, it covers the geometry. Dang.
Yeah.
Math. All right.
Yes. Uh-oh.
Oh, oh, not real happy with that. Donk donk. Is he going to hit him again?
Oh.
Oh, that's where the arrows comes in.
Oh, didn't turn the bowler around. 2 attempts at a Hog Rider defense. Very, very difficult execution, but would have paid off in big ways if Brian RT could do it.
And we've mentioned before that the Giant Bowler deck should have a really good matchup against Hog decks.
Yes.
This is a Hog deck without lightning, which makes it a little tougher because we used to the only time we ever saw Hog decks beat the Bowler was with the lightning, where you could zap it, turn it around.
Oh, Musketeers are going to start. Hold on. Wait. I think this tower might go down.
Oh, you're right on the left side.
So right as we get into overtime, he's got the lightning, and he is going to take down Brian RT's bottom right tower.
Cool as a cucumber, Naruto knows exactly that he had the game in hand, and it's just,
That's fine.
it's fine.
Musketeer make it. That's fine.
Did he go Super Saiyan?
Oh my god!
Oh my God. Yes.
I can't take you anywhere.
Yes, he did. All right, well, congratulations, Naruto. One step closer to $2,000. So the deck now that Naruto has to bring is what?
Oh, the Golem deck.
The Golem
Big
deck.
Papa Pump, the biggest, toughest deck in the format. We've got,
Pump.
just to remind you, just because, we see this deck every time, but it's the only one in the semifinals today. Golem, Baby Dragon, Archers, Lightning, Tombstone, Ice Golem, Mega Minion.
Okay.
And it's got a little bit of everything. It's got some splash damage. It's got some good single target damage from the Archers, Mega Minion, Ice Golem. Important thing is that every single troop in the deck is very hard to remove with spells. Archers are 2-body against Lightning.
Is
Baby
the
Dragon
deck
doesn't die.
facing spell heavy or?
Let's see. Well, we don't know if Brian Ortiz is going to stick
true.
with the deck. I think, though, with Lightning in both of his decks, Brian Ortiz is kind of in a tough spot because you've got Barb Hut, you've got Three Musketeers.
There's
You're never
beautiful
going to get
lightning
without
targets.
Lightning.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll see. You guys let us know in chat who you think is going to be. Is Naruto going to take this 2-0, or will Brian RT come back and tie it up?
Now, good news, if your name is Brian Ortiz, you've got Hog Rider against a deck that is at some point going to have to try to play an 8-cost Golem.
All right, and again, I like
2 hits.
I like what Brian Ortiz is doing. We've talked again
2006.
against these Golem decks. I think it's my sister was born. Against these Golem decks, this is what you want to do. You want to take down a tower before it gets into overtime, and then you get your win.
Absolutely. And what interesting interaction that just happened there. Mega Minion allowed the Hog Rider to get 2 hits. Mini P.E.K.K.A., which does quite a bit more than the Mega Minion, would only allow 1 hit there.
Oh.
So that is one of those trade-offs that I think there's a lot of advantages to Mega Minion. There's definitely a lot of times where Mega Minion is going to be real strong. But that was a situation where I think Mini P.E.K.K.A. would have been a little better. Okay. By the way, this is exactly the situation you want to see. When I say you put Barb Hut in this Golem deck, this is the exact Golem list you're looking to beat.
Okay.
He's already got 2 squads of Barbs.
Wow.
He got
destroyed it.
I mean, a way to think about it, though, is he got 5
out
cost
of
worth
7.
of Barbs, right? And then for the extra 2, he got a really high health building that pulled a lot of the stuff over that way.
That's right. It's a great trade.
Oh, and another Tombstone comes out.
Go 1, 2. Oh, so close.
Gotta swing faster with the hammer.
See, an Ice Golem's gonna block. And
Look
that holds off
Look at
the
that,
Archers.
Predicting
Just
the future.
on point.
The idea there is that you want to spend as little elixir as possible. You could do something like well, I guess all of them cost. I mean, you could do like Mega Minion or Archers that cost 3, but you'd be way better off spending 2, saving that elixir. Ooh, time to hog.
Is he
Might
gonna
not have
go-
it in hand.
Is he gonna go under?
I think he might try to go Hut.
Here we go. So that's what happens if you have the Hog Rider. You can try to punish. If not, you just say, you know what? You're gonna put 8 on the board. I'll put 7 on the board. And when it comes down to it, we'll both beat about the same amount of elixir when the fighting really gets going.
The thing is, the Barbarians are tanky enough that even with the Baby Dragon and the Mega Minion on the field, the Barbarians still get a few swings off, and it's already a half health and it just crossed the bridge.
Right, and we've seen how much Tombstone can be really strong, right? The skeletons build up, do a lot of damage. Downside, skeletons die when the Golem blows up. Not the same thing with Barbs, right? And of course, Barbs are not nearly as vulnerable to Log or Zap or any of the other things that people play.
Another Hut out.
Those things
That's a cycle.
Ooh, and with the Tombstone out, those Barbs are...
Go Hog!
They're going to actually function kind of like an Ice Golem and distract all that.
Oh, where are you going, Hog Rider? Is there a
Tombstone's
log?
always off cycle.
No, he's going to play Fireball to make sure he lowers the health of the Mega Minion and the Baby Dragon. Now, what's interesting here is I think that there's a very real opportunity to play 3 Musketeers when you see the Golem come down to try to go over.
Maybe you double Barb Hut.
Yes, possibly
It is double
even
elixir
Barb
time,
Hut.
and that means you're actually making a full squad of Barbs very
Every
often.
single- yeah.
And eventually they can overwhelm. I mean, we talk about how good Golem is in double elixir time, but spawners are the original double elixir
It's my
time deck.
favorite double elixir.
Uses lightning on the right side just to prevent the split push. Otherwise, he would have to put elixir on the other side, troops and whatnot that wouldn't be very effective on counterattacking. Just lightnings to get rid of it, and that way he can focus on the main push side. But right now, Ryan Ortiz looking pretty strong here. Let's see if he can log this thing.
Nice,
It
good
does,
timing.
expert timing too.
Pushes the Archers away, one of them might abandon duty. Oh, it doesn't.
Get the shot in. Again, this will be interesting because if Brian RT can take this might, again, showing that, yes, Golem decks thrive in overtime double elixir, but a Barbarian Hut might be a great counter to that.
It also just shows how good players can find unexpected cards. When you think, oh, there's no way to beat this, have you ever looked at cards that aren't good? You know what I mean? It's possible that cards that aren't traditionally good are actually very strong right now. One of my friends has gone back to playing Bomb Tower because Bomb Tower has a lot more health against lightnings, and when you have that Golem and the Ice Golem there, you got the 2 Golemites and the Ice Golem, Bomb Tower is just wrecking them. You've got Graveyard, you've got Skeleton Army, Guards, all those cards. Archers,
comes the all-in
that gets
push.
wrecked by bomb tower.
Look at that. He's going to go with the
Nice.
fireball.
Oh,
The fireball.
get out.
Oh, boy. And that is going to be Brian RT just like that into overtime, taking down Naruto. And we are going into game number 3 in the semifinals.
And that's it. That's exactly why you play that deck.
Yeah.
You are hunting golem decks with the barb hut, and you saw that because of the faster cycle in the deck too, he was able to get back to his barb huts before the golems were out. And then it started to turn the pressure around.
How could have Naruto better defended his golem? Is there a way?
You know, he was really going to have to rely on Baby Dragon and Mega Minion to do a lot of work there, which is why Brian RT was constantly fireballing the Mega Minion Baby Dragon combination. Yeah,
I like that.
Smart.
Because a lot of times we see those, everyone trying to get that fireball or get that rocket damage or lightning to hit the tower as well. But it's cool to see people using it. No, this is actually a way better for me to just take down these minions and get that elixir value.
Yeah. So he was doing the right thing, but it just didn't really work out for him.
Weirdly enough, so his next deck is going to be a much faster Hog Cycle deck. It doesn't run Three Musketeers, doesn't run Barb Hut. It's the weird parallel card is Inferno Tower is Barb Hut in these two lists. And they seem like very different cards, but they serve the same purpose, being your anti-big tank, anti-golem card. So we've seen though with Chief Mystical, one of Uzamaki's clanmates, running double hog and having a very hard time closing games out. His first hog deck, his primary hog deck is really good.
Right.
Yep.
And the second hog deck,
I don't know if I asked this last time, but it was definitely in my head, so I'm going to answer it because I forget what the answer was. If you have one deck that is your go-to hog deck, and you have all your best cards in it, it's just the premier hog deck and it wins every time, and then you have another hog deck in for the double deck format, the ones you cycle out are just a little less than ideal. Is it better to have that, a really strong one, a really weak one, or a weaker one, or do you just hit middle road? You give 2 good ones and 2 good ones, and then 2 bad ones and 2 bad ones?
I think you have to look at it in terms of what utilities you really need for that deck to be successful, right? If you find that you can have successful utility with the different support cards that you pick, and you can spread them out, by all means, that's the way to do it. But if you know that there's only a certain way that you can play, a certain way to play the Hog, for example, Hog Lightning is played very differently than something like maybe a Hog Cycle, where it's just really looking to pump out a sheer large amount of Hog Riders as opposed to just playing a Hog Rider and then using Lightning to blow your opponent away in one go.
oh, here we go with the punish. That is 7 elixir at the river to counter the 8 elixir gold. And the knight is getting pushed by the Hog Rider all the way up there. They're both locking on, doing a huge amount of damage. Fireball on the archers. They're going to take out the defense.
Get
Hog's
a hit.
right around.
Get a hit.
One hit.
Get a hit.
2
There
hits.
it is.
And just like that, Brian RT can go right back to defending for the rest. That's the exact kind of opening he wants in this game 3.
Absolutely. Again, this is the situation. You take down a tower before Golem gets into that critical overtime mass, and you win the moment that clock goes down. 1 minute and 50 seconds is what Naruto Uzumaki has. Let's see what he can do.
And at this point, he can just play as an Inferno Tower deck, right? I mean, there's no need to do those sort of really aggressive hog punishes unless you feel like you're going into overtime and you want a good lead on the second tower. But at this point, Hog Rider can just basically be deleted from the deck and just become a 7-card Inferno Tower deck.
Yeah. I mean, you can even, just in case, let's say you see a huge push and Naruto puts too much on one side, you're like, cool, I'll lose the tower, but I'm just going to get another tower, and now I'm just in the same situation again.
And that might happen because, especially as we're going into double elixir time, it's not easy to stop a golem. I mean, the golem decks, the reason why they're so popular is because they're really impossible to stop. I mean, they are the most overwhelming sort of push, and even if you do defend, they just lightning out most of your defense. The downside here for Uzumaki, for Brian RT, is that now he's got 2 defending towers, the king and the crown, and he's got to figure out a way to maybe take out that second tower when Hog Rider is under twice as much attacking.
How much more considerable defense does increase once you get that king tower locked in?
The king tower, I believe, does higher DPS than the crown tower, so it's not even just like, oh, it's double crown tower, it's slightly better than that.
Okay.
Oh, he pulls the Ice Spirit off to the side. The Ice Spirit does not lock on to the tower, but the Ice Golem slow does.
Wow. Brian RT was able to take more than half the tower health on the right side as payment for Naruto investing so much elixir in this push.
Not dead yet.
Yeah. Here we go. 12 seconds left. Naruto 309. He's got to get through, or he is done. Let's see.
It's exactly what we're seeing. Oh, he's got a lightning it, but he's already got the hog, and the Ice Golem blows up on the skeletons, allowing a free raid.
Wow.
2 hits.
2 hit, 1 more. Oh!
But that is Fireball Zap range? Yes, Fireball Zap will kill it.
Okay, so it looks like even though Naruto Uzumaki may have gotten this into overtime,
Cycle.
not out of the woods yet.
Here it is.
Whoop. There's a fireball. There's the zap, just like you called it. Brian RT from Reddit Troopers is moving on to face off Middle Sky in the finals. Congratulations.
Congrats.
Woo.
How did he pull off those opening pushes? Those were so
Going
good.
under.
Exactly how I don't play Hog Rider, right? I just mash my hogs out there and I lose. But he had a very selective use of his Hog Riders. He only played, I think, 3 throughout, like once that first tower was down, he only played 3 on the right side. The first one, not effective. The second one got 1 swing. The last one planned perfectly, timed in the moment when he knew that his opponent was gonna have to spend 6 elixir on a lightning. So he took advantage of that by going under. He only has 4 elixir for defense. He had Hog, Ice Spirit, Ice Golem, Fireball. That's like the full 10, 11 elixir push. And that was enough to do about 1,000 damage each shot and took it down.
Okay, well, let's go to our replays of this amazing match to see our winner, Brian RT. Kill it.
All right, taking a look at an in-depth replay here. We're gonna take a look at Golem fighting against Barbarian Hut in slow motion. We see the Barbarian Hut is already installed in the middle position for Brian RT. And you can see that the Golem is ambling its way across. Now I want you guys to notice how tanky these Barbarians are. The Baby Dragon has already spit twice, but the Barbarians are already starting to work on the Golem. Now this is just the first 2 Barbarians that have come out of the Barbarian Hut. 2 more will be on the way. And notice how the Golem is actually taking that sideways path, not going towards the tower, going towards the hut instead. And that's what Rumham was saying about that 2 extra elixir as a defensive building. Now we see 2 Barbarians coming out. All right, let's hold the replay here. Now, let's take a look at what's on the field. Good drop by Brian RT on the Ice Golem. You'll notice that the skeletons from the tombstone, the Baby Dragon, is now locked onto the Ice Golem instead. Meanwhile, 2 Barbarians from the Barbarian Hut are tagging onto the Golem. Incidentally, the Golem is already at about 55% health. All right, now watch. The Golem is going to continue taking damage from both the Crown Towers and the Barbarians and the Archers being dropped in the back. And no damage is being done to the tower because that Barbarian Hut is soaking up everything. Plus the Fireball on top is going to make sure that Naruto's Mega Minion and Baby Dragon are put at lower health, which means that after these Golemites are done, and by the way, that log only just cleared out the Barbarian Hut, look at how much damage these Archers do. We'll be able to clean up the Baby Dragon, we'll be able to clean up the Mega Minion. Let's go back to the start of this replay and watch that play out in real time. Make sure you pay attention to just how much damage these Barbarians will do with the aid of the double Crown Tower, and it being such a tanky building, it's very different than Tombstone. Tombstone just gets run over in a single swing plus a log. That really wasn't an option for Naruto in this case because Barbarian Hut is just so effective. So many hit points both from the Barbarians and the Hut itself. Perfect card to play in the meta right now against Golem decks.
All right, Barbarian, hopefully the start of the return of the spawners. I hope before the end of the Coronation we see an entire spawner deck.
Maybe
so
some
healthy.
tornadoes thrown in there?
Yeah, because Tornado's out now,
It
right?
just came out.
I checked during the replay. It is out. I bought the special offer and I have
Oh my God! You
I have
it.
at least a level 3 tornado right
Wow,
now.
there we go already.
I'll be playing it right after the stream.
Level 3 Tornado owner, congratulations. Hopefully you guys are getting those at home as well. Let's pull up the bracket as we now have our 2 finalists here for Coronation number 12. It is Middle Sky versus Brian RT. Rumham, the question to you, sir, is who is the victor?
Well, the downside for the Barbarian Hut deck is that there are no golems on the other end. There is a giant, but it's giant plus the skeleton army, graveyard, furnace, and furnace matches up pretty well against Barb Hut too. So he's gonna have to really find a way to get a lot of value out of that deck. On the other hand, big advantage, no lightning in either deck.
Oh, wow.
So those 3 Musketeers looking pretty gnarly,
Free
right?
reign.
Yeah. We got double Hog Rider against double Skeleton Army. Favors the Skeleton
Sweet
Army,
matchup.
but what happens when Log and Zap clear them out?
Who knows?
I could hear the
guess
argument
we'll
either
find
way,
out.
right? The important thing to me is that both of these members are, both these people are members of really good clans. We got Genesis, one of the original tournament clans in Middle Sky. Brian RT, Reddit Troopers. We've seen the Reddit clan system provide so many really strong players, and he is a member of that as well. So either one of these players, very deserving, done very well.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how you are going to stop. If you can't remove 3 Musketeers, how do you stop a split 3 Musketeers? You have 2 barbarians and a musketeer on one side, 2 musketeers and an ice golem on the other side, and because Barbarian Hut is kind of a delayed, like you collect later, right? There's definitely a situation where you'll play Barbarian Hut, you wait a little bit, wait until you're at 10 elixir again, you play the musketeer, and then you can play ice golem on one side, and then help your barbarian side with even more elixir on top of that. Gets to a point where you actually don't have elixir enough to defend both sides.
Yeah, it sounds like you shouldn't even let that happen. One thing though that you guys should let happen is our next broadcast, which are gonna. I guess it's really not up to your control.
Let happen on your internet.
On your internet, yeah. Make sure you guys have internet to tune in next Sunday on the 13th. We have Coronation Day number 13. Look how that lined up just so perfectly. Oh. That is gonna be Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday, all at 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and finally Coronation Day number 16 happening on the 17th. Next Thursday, 8 o'clock p.m. That is when our final champion will be crowned, and we will have all 16 moving on to those beautiful arena battles. Right now, it's either going to be Brian RT or Middle Sky moving on. Again, Brian RT though, with that Barbarian Hut, I got to be rooting for him. I think it's another one to hang up. Like, you won a Barbarian Hut.
Yeah.
I know Rainey's going for Goblin Barrel. I'm going for Graveyard, so I might be Middle Sky. I don't know. What are you thinking? Ella, you're the tiebreaker here.
So, I mean, I'm pretty good at predicting things, as we've
One time
seen.
you predicted a tower going down.
Yeah.
I say we root for Barb Hut.
Yeah.
You guys
Cool.
can
I like that. Yeah.
take the other
Love
side.
it.
Yeah, you guys get goblins.
If you guys are right, next show, Rumham and I will be the hosts.
Okay,
and you guys can be the play-by-play and
Okay.
commentary.
So this game, though,
Welcome back.
final match, Brian RT versus Middle Sky. Let us know who you think is going to take the $2,000 today.
Knight, not as good of a defender as you might hope.
Oh my God.
The skeletons were mostly cleared up by the zap, but look at that giant punching.
Oh, wow.
He just let the Hog Rider happen.
Yeah, I mean, he was spending so much time trying to pull off that attack. Oh wow, that was a really oddball furnace. I wonder why it went so far up there. Is he afraid of lightning? There's no lightning in the deck.
Also, just a reminder, while 422, 896, very fast decks right here in the finals. In the finals, it is a best of 5. We are no longer doing the best of 3, so each opponent has the choice to win with a deck 2 times, but they do still have to win with both of their decks to win.
I believe Brian RT switched it up and instead started with his Inferno Tower Hog Fireball, the faster cycle one with Inferno Tower, probably because Middle Sky has opened with this giant deck in every single match.
Oh, wow. Already predictions, some mind games going on here. Well done.
If you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. You got to look it through all these decks and know exactly what they're going to play.
Trying to convert the Mega Minion, puts the Hog Rider in front, lets the Mega Minion get tanked for by the tower. Fly, Mega Minion, fly! Flap your wings! Freedom! No! Oh.
I mean, he's free now.
He is free. He's been released from the... He's not free, actually, because the next time Brian RT decides to drag him onto the map, he has to go back into combat again.
That's true.
Oh, good fireball there. It's working down the furnace. I almost wonder if Middle Sky accidentally misplaced that first furnace or didn't see the first Hog Rider, because that put him very, very far behind.
Yes. Yeah.
What's going to happen here? Mega Minion, of course, hard counter against Knight. It can kill the whole thing before it hits the tower. So that's pretty much a +3 trade, right? Like, we should talk about hard counters and soft counters one of these days.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, it's already locked on. That's not what you wanted, though. He uses the zap to retarget it.
But the giant is already close enough. But look at the graveyard.
Oh, wow.
It's not about the giant. It's not about the Inferno Tower. It's all about the graveyard. And they're still partying. Oh, my God.
Wow, look at the damage.
Okay.
Rocking in the free world. There they are.
Oh, man. Log coming out, pushing back the Hog Rider and the Knight on the left side there for Brian RT. And Middle Sky taking the first tower just 30 seconds. Now, bottom right is in fireball range for Brian RT, but the question is, will he be able to use it?
The question is, he needs to stay focused. He needs to figure out exactly when during this push that there's only 18 seconds left. I believe that he might be too focused on defending that he's not even going to fireball that right side tower in time. We'll see.
Oh, no, you got to.
He's about stabilized, so you got to fire it now. 4 or 5. He has the elixir. He should have it in hand. I don't believe he's on defense.
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
There it is.
All right, going into overtime.
That was
Not
scary.
the worst situation.
I mean, really, every remaining vulnerable tower is about the same amount of health.
Yes.
Whether the 3 crown, the crown tower, or the blue crown tower that is still around, they're all about even. So that's about the best situation Brian RT can hope for. He doesn't have anything too vulnerable sitting around.
He needs to, if he defends this push well, Brian RT has a chance to live through this game. He could even win it on his own next push, depending on how well he defends this push. notice that he has a Knight, Ice Golem, and Mega Minion that are about to convert. It's about how he uses these 3 cards in combination. I like that. Good opening, playing the Knight, playing the Hog Rider, not in the aggressive spot, and I really like that too. The pre-Fireball to try to clear out the archers, takes down the Furnace.
Ooh, that shows how much Hog Rider decks struggle to really push through. There's 2 towers attacking.
And this is a big push for Middle Sky. If Brian RT has the cards to handle the graveyard, he is again in an advantageous spot, and this is a game of ping pong right now. Big Log takes down. Wow, that tower's at 6-11, but still, that is not lethal.
Log was kind of icky there. It kind of knocked the Ice Golem backwards into the skeletons, and then it blew up. I mean, I think you still Log. Like, I get why you do it, because you're trying to chip every bit of damage, but yeah.
He might try to go under. I think now's the time to play
Yep.
Hog. Now you have to make sure you play Ice Golem to defend against the graveyard. Oh, but he zaps it. There's
He's
one.
just trying to buy time. It looks like that's not going to be it. The tower goes down, and Middle Sky taking game number 1 against Brian RT here in the finals. Graveyard still showing strong. Again, high risk, high reward, super high reward in that game.
You know what that
Really?
deck reminds me of? It reminds me a lot of the old giant balloon decks we used to see.
Balloon.
Balloon I don't believe has made a debut yet, but Giant Balloon used to be a deck there, 10 elixir, doesn't kill anything, it's just very aggressive on the tower, and what you used to do is when people would say, oh, Golem or whatever, you Giant Balloon, right? Like you just go for it and try to take the tower down. Giant Graveyard feels a lot like that. It's like as soon as you counter their attack, you just spend all 10 elixir and go for it because they have to spend so much elixir defending it that you're not really under threat from getting counterattacked at that exact moment.
Good place to be indeed. One thing, we're playing the King's Cup, and I got the Balloon Rage one to play against. And why aren't we seeing Balloon, Rainey?
Because it's 5 elixir that gets taken down really quickly, and then you get nothing for it. I mean, when you're playing things like, especially things like Tombstone,
2 words.
everybody's
Mega Minion.
Yeah.
Mega Minion
okay.
killed the Balloon Star.
Okay.
There's
I
not
have a
even really a good way to remove Mega
Quick
Minion.
question before we go into this next game. Brian did a little split in the beginning. Was this just not the right deck to do a split push with? Because it seems like that might have been what hurt him in the end.
You know, I want to be able to give you a great answer, but I already kind of don't remember it. So instead of just trying to BS you a little bit, I think
Okay.
I'll just move right
We'll
along.
watch this split push.
Go back and watch it if you guys are watching this, and let us know.
Barbarian Hug continuing to find its value.
Catch me on a day when I'm not pumped full of Sudafed. Got an IV hooked up.
It's okay, it's all my fault.
So Brian RT has switched
You've
decks.
never sounded as gross as I sound. All right. Oh, so we're going to see this Hog Rider get at least 2 swings.
Man.
Easy.
Now the Furnace here, this is one of those kind of interesting rock, paper, scissors setups. Tombstone, cheap, good against Giant. Barbarian Hut, better. Furnace though, right in the middle. Tombstone counters Furnace because it's cheaper and those Fire Spirits keep jumping on the skeletons one at a time. But Furnace is much better against Barb Hut because it blows up on the squad of Barbarians just like this. Doink, doink.
Now, if you played just the 2 and they were just fighting each other, would one eventually take the other down before, or would they just run out of time?
Well, they cost less. The Furnace, I think, has a shorter time.
Okay.
Lifetime as well. And even if they did, like, I don't think they need to necessarily take each other out because Furnace costs almost half as
Oh no,
much.
skeletons! Don't! Killing it will hurt you.
Wow.
They're still going.
Oh, look
wow,
at
this
this
is a good counter push, though. 2 of those barbs cross the river.
And the skeleton army is distracted by the barbs, or at least the majority of them. Let the Hog Rider get a good swing off.
Unfortunately, that Mega Minion wasn't quite in range. I think it's going to be low enough. It's only going to get 1 attack, if any.
Oh, so close. So close.
How many
Action movie
times?
stop right there.
He's like, die. Skeleton Army, fun. There's a great defensive card right now. We've seen it used against Graveyard, against big bodies, against keeping a huge counter push coming against you.
Great against Hog Rider.
Great against Hog Rider. Man, Skeleton Army.
Now here in Double Elixir is when Brian RT's deck is going to start looking real good. Because as we mentioned, there's not a lot of things that actually stop, especially not in this deck, that stop the 3 Musketeers, so why not just cast them every time you can?
That's right.
All right, this is the situation we're talking about. Now you have Ice Golem Musketeer on one side, Barbarian Musketeer on the other side, and a Hog Rider.
Look at all those bodies!
And there's just so much stuff. You're going to have to use an aggressive Graveyard, but one of the Musketeers is already locked into the tower, and look, it's not going to die for so long. Finally gets zapped.
Wow.
One more shot, come on, Musketeer, lock on, kill it, lock on. Oh.
We're just going to have to log it.
You know, 10 seconds, he puts the 3 Musketeers down as well, and it's up to, I don't think, 1,500 damage in 4 seconds is not going to happen right now for Middle Sky, and that is going to be Brian RT picking up a game here in the finals.
Unless something really crazy happens.
Playing it about as cautious as you can play.
Look at that, look at that. Oh, this thing.
And the Hog does it.
There it is, Hog going in, Graveyard on the King Tower, 1-1 here in the finals.
And since we are in the finals, it's a best of 5.
Yep.
So
No, it's the best of 3.
both players have to win once with each deck and may win twice with a single deck.
Yeah.
They each already have a win. Middle Sky with his Goblin Barrel deck, right? Or no, did he play the Giant Furnace?
Yeah.
Got him. Anyways, so Brian RT has a win, Middle Sky has a win, once each with the deck. They are basically, as you mentioned, Ella, yeah, they're going into a best of 3 now, and they have to win once each with each deck. We're getting into the championship rounds of this.
What do they do now? What do you suggest their strategies?
I think as long as Brian RT thinks that Giant deck is going to come at him, he wants to play the 3 Musketeers Barb Hut deck. If he can pull out another win with that deck against the Giant deck, he can switch to the defensive Hog Rider deck.
Get a tower.
It's at least cheaper, the defensive one is,
Right.
with the Inferno Tower and all that, because he's going to have to beat the Zap Bait deck. And the more expensive deck is probably going to be more vulnerable to the Zap Bait, because at some point you play Barb Hut, you play 3 Musketeers, and they can just go all in on the other lane.
Sure.
So he probably wants to sneak one out.
All right.
Okay,
Well, we're seeing, yeah, again, like you said, this is like a best of 3. The only difference is, after this one, someone's taking home $2,000. Middle Sky, Brian RT, both got one. Reddit Troopers, inside Brian RT, and Genesis from Middle Sky representing here.
1, 2? Oh, just 2. Okay, that's not too bad, given that the Mega Minion had to chase it for a little bit. Except the downside is the Mega Minion wasn't there to help defend. Look at that, the Giant is down. And I think another
still
squad
up.
of Barbs are coming out.
Yeah, look at that. Value!
Archers will back him up.
Archers, again, deceptively tanky.
Yes.
They're gonna dodge that law. Oh, I thought they were gonna dodge it. The more healthy one goes first to tank for her weakened sister, and they're gonna get a couple shots off.
Oh, nice. Archers actually have a very fast wind up to their attack.
They fire right away. They're
Yes.
among many units that basically their first attack has a 0 attack speed. As soon as they come within range, they fire. Spear Goblins do that as well, a few other cards.
There we go, Graveyard Giant. We've seen it. 3 Musketeers, though, 2 of them, 2 of the 3. Pretty good defending, it looks like. Quick enough attack speed.
Gonna use the log to push the Giant off the tower, make sure that the Musketeers shoot down a few more skeletons before they lock onto the Giant. And I think that was a relatively good defense, but Middle Sky still has to answer for these 2 Musketeers.
Ooh, and that tower's already pretty low, and that's not what you want to see if you're Brian RT. You want to get as deep into double elixir time as possible before losing a tower, and already hurting pretty bad.
671 already on Brian RT's tower there. 1341 on Middle Skies. We'll see what can happen. Double elixir, obviously, we always say going over to Brian RT's deck.
Yeah, I think it's super interesting because Hog Rider, when both towers in the same lane are the ones of interest, it's so difficult for the Hog Rider to do a big counter push because all the elixir that Middle Sky would spend to defend the Hog Rider converts to the lower health tower, and that's kind of playing into Middle Sky's hand. So I think Brian RT is in a tough spot right now.
Yeah, between the Furnace and the Archers, that's pretty tough to get your Barb Hut down. You really want the Barb Hut matched up against something like you want the Giant to be the first thing those Barbs interact with. Oh, that's a great log, hitting 2 Barbs and 2 Musketeers.
Oh, wow. So we didn't get to see Tornado tonight because it came out just a little too late. But would a time like now be an ideal situation when there are all those little
Look at
bodies?
that. Yeah, you'd love to Tornado that right there. Actually, Tornado is, I think, will be a decent replacement for Log depending on the kind of deck you're running and what you're thinking to play. And we know how popular Log and Zap are. Could be that.
Ooh, here's a big call out.
Riverketeers.
Nice push, but I think he might have wanted... Oh, actually, did the Skeleton Army get dropped? There's a lot of dead elixir there.
Yeah.
I think he got it the instant that it was
The
actually
log
dropped.
was perfectly timed there. 2 Musketeers going to make it in.
Are you kidding me?
Backing him up. Yeah, no, it was the log came in and all of a sudden
it's still shooting.
explosion of elixir.
Wow.
The next Log plus Zap will do it.
Oh,
the Firefire's getting the Hog Rider in there.
There's Brian RT picking it up. He gives the thumbs up.
A log.
That was-
I was about to say, the log was a great idea to keep the Giant away and make sure that the 3 Musketeers had some space to take
No,
down the
was,
giant.
That was mind games.
But I was thinking that you would much rather spend the log on the skeleton army that is inevitably going to come while the Three Musketeers make it across a bridge, but just happened to play the skeleton army right as the log was coming across, instantly eliminated. And that's a tough situation to get
What
out
was
of.
left on the other tower? 122?
It was
Yes.
enough. It was a log zap. Like that would have done it.
Close enough.
Log zap would have done it. He just didn't cycle quick enough and needed to defend against those incoming pushes.
Obviously, we have the best of the best here tonight because that was bless you.
Oh, whew. But you know, no need to bless me because I already have a level 3 tornado.
Yes.
I've been blessed. #blessed. But here's the thing: you did bring up a good point. We didn't see tornado tonight because tornado was actually released during the broadcast.
Right.
I got it during our 5-minute break that we take in the middle of the show.
No, you didn't.
And the tournament.
You got it during his telecast.
Yeah, I mean, I cheated. The point is, here's the thing: the tournament actually begins 2 hours before our broadcast because we start with so many players. I mean, hundreds of thousands of people play in the qualifier. Many people earn tickets, and we got to play these coronation events up into the top 8.
Yep.
Tornado was not released at the start of the tournament,
So they can't
therefore
put it on their
they
decks.
play it.
Right.
But,
Right, but it
I
won't be
do think
here.
we'll see it Sunday. It's very powerful.
Yeah.
And not only is it powerful, but it's really good against a lot of the decks. We're seeing these big, giant golem build up pushes with all this stuff. People tend to put, as we're going to see probably in this, maybe if Middle Sky plays a giant deck, we might see it again. Okay, we might see
there
it.
we go.
You'll see like the archers on the left side, the Mega Minion on the right side. They're purposely spread out so that things like Fireball and Lightning aren't that easy to pull off. Well, Tornado pulls them all together right for you.
All right, Brian RT, one more game away from $2,000 and a ticket to go to the arena battles. Let's see if this can be his game, or is Middle Sky going to tie it up and go into that critical game 5?
We might even see the debut of a new card on Sunday. Not just the new card Tornado, but cards we have yet to see before, because the biggest beneficiaries of Tornado, Wizard and Sparky.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
Dreams
Sparky.
would come
Yeah.
true.
Tornado everything into a circle and let Sparky take care of it.
Sparky's like, let's just line up here.
And keep in mind
wow,
that
that's
tornado
interesting.
affects all units.
Correct.
Big bodies, small bodies, air units, everything. Only buildings are not affected. And so that Sparky shot will literally clear out everything.
Now,
that
when you
is
say
affected.
buildings are not affected, does the damage still apply to the buildings?
Nope.
Or no.
Buildings are not pulled off their spot, they are not damaged. And I really like that aspect of the card because we're seeing so many different spells in all these decks because the chip damage adds up. I like that it's a spell that doesn't contribute to sort of spell cycle victory conditions. Ooh, good Fireball
That
there.
is a good
That's 6
fireball.
elixir pretty much off the board for 4.
And Middle Sky knowing it as well, giving that angry face. And so far, Brian RT is up. 1 minute and 20 left.
And if he wins this game,
That's it.
He's taking home the $2,000 and the chance to go to the arena battles.
Oh my
and right now it's
God.
looking pretty good. Wow, even just getting a swing on the furnace and forcing the furnace into that angle is really good.
This means that a Hog Rider on the right side actually is not going to be disturbed by that furnace.
Oh, yeah? Far enough over?
Yep.
And because you're
He
right.
doesn't even need to jump it. No
So-
need for no hog push.
How much does a Sparky cost?
6.
Okay.
Yeah, you haven't unlocked it yet. That's right. You've only got the
Nope,
one
I
legendary.
have not.
Costs 6. Big long wind-up time, but it does the most damage in the game in a single shot, and it
Oh.
does the splash damage.
And your fun fact, more damage than health.
It is the only troop that does more damage than its own health.
That's right.
Oh my god, this is a lot of stuff. Ice Golem is so good. Just the
Yep.
fact that he dropped that Ice Golem saved them probably thousands of damage. on his
Oh,
tower.
the furnace does come down in time. It looks like he wasn't aggressive enough with that. I like the Ice Spirit on the Mega Minion, though. Buys him a
what
little
a
bit of time.
fireball!
Oh, but it's not enough. He needed the zap there in order to kill the Mega Minion to let the Hog Rider lock on.
It's a little late there. Giant now on the other side. Giant
Uh-oh.
graveyard.
Ooh, the Knight is fighting valiantly against the the Graveyard Army. Look at how many skeletons he's fighting off.
Mega Minion joins in. He's going to be going down there. A little bit of damage going on the tower. 5 seconds. It looks like we're going to be going into overtime. But with that Middle Sky, now actually is in the lead as far as having the lowest health tower.
Correct. It's tough,
huge.
yeah. I mean, definitely Brian RT has done more aggregate damage, but which hit point matters the most?
The final one.
That's right. This single archer, the lone archer, feels lonely.
Man, these consistent Graveyard drops, and I think Brian RT needs to shake out of this line of play. I don't see this going very well for him at all. He's defending relatively well, but look at how much tiny bits of damage the Graveyard is getting at a time.
So much damage.
Yeah, yeah, that was much more effective than the first time around, and I think it just came down to the fact that the skeletons spawned on the right side more often than the left side at that time.
Yeah, I really disagree with him using the zap on offense over and over again. He's not really getting value with the offensive zaps, and it's leaving him wide open to the skeleton armies and the graveyard. This deck has skeleton army and graveyard in it, you can't just be throwing zaps away on archers. Who cares, right? Like,
Furnace
doesn't do
coming
anything.
down, tried to pre-fireball, but hits nothing, and that might be the nail in the coffin because Graveyard is about to come down here.
Right. And actually, yeah, and his Ice Golem's also being used on offense. A little tough.
Yep, has to play the Knight.
Here we go, Graveyard.
No, there's no Knight.
This is Chip.
There's the Ice Golem, but probably on the wrong side.
Oh no, this might be it. Looks
Oh,
like
no,
Graveyard's
they're
not
rounding up.
doing enough.
Oh,
I don't even know if that zap hit anything.
Oh, but the Archer is going to do it here. Doink!
Oh, the final shot from the Archer Middle Sky. We're going into a critical game 5 here on Coronation 12. Not going down without a fight. Now 1 game away. This next
My
game
God.
is it.
This is it.
$2,000 going to the winner. 500 to second place. First place also gets that trip to go into the arena battles. Goes down in Clash Royale history.
You guys, who's it gonna be?
Well, you guys already called it out.
Yeah,
You guys-
we
you guys
know who
are-
it's going
We
to
know
be.
it's gonna
You
be,
guys-
but,
Do you want to change?
but for real,
You're stuck with
like,
your options because we've already called Goblin Barrel, and this is, here's the thing, Middle Sky
Is
played.
that's what we're gonna see,
Middle
right?
Sky played the Giant deck 4 games in a row, 2 wins, 2 losses. So lost twice with it, that's fine, you don't have to switch it or anything, but he won twice, so now it is out. This is the first time in this matchup we're gonna see the Goblin Barrel deck. That can be a very tricky deck where you have to read your opponent, read their lines of play in order to pull it off. And
This is the deck he wants in this
I don't
final
know.
5th battle.
I mean, it's going to come down to kind of a lucky, not lucky, but we saw in the last one. Do you remember like the last Coronation with the double Goblin Barrel deck? They tried out a lot of different lines of play before
Yeah.
actually pulling off a win. Middle Sky's got to predict it really well because if he messes up and can't find an opening,
He's done.
done.
Gonna be hard. Do you think we'll ever see a defensive Barbarian Hut, like put behind a tower just to stop any sort of Goblin Barrel?
Barbarian had decks out.
Oh, it's done.
It won twice. It won
That's
twice.
the
He
two.
has to. Brian RT, just like he played in the last round, has to play this Inferno Tower Hog deck. The downside is that Inferno Tower is kind of a dead card in a deck with Princess Miner and Goblin Barrel. He's really attacking from every angle except across the bridge.
Good minor defense to start out, and that's a good thing to watch. Middle Sky really wants to get any single little bit of damage that he can. Just a single stab here, a single stab there, and he wants to start early. Fireball for the Princess plus Zap for the Goblin Barrel means that I think that Middle Sky would want to cycle into Minion Horde Miner, and I think that might be the next 2 cards he plays.
Now, I do actually have a question for you guys. It looks like we have a little bit of downtime here. Talking about Sparky, the more health for the damage. Do Fire Spirits also make that cut? Do they do technically more damage?
I guess you're right. Yeah, the Suicide Troops do.
Suicide.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I'll give you that one. Skeletons do the exact same amount of damage as they have health.
Okay, fun fact.
If you die, I don't think it counts.
Wow, wow.
Oh,
He's really going for a big
it's coming
punish.
in. Oh, good fireball. That might have saved that. I mean, not might have. That 100% saved the tower.
It was going
Yep.
down. All right.
It was a big swing, and I think Middle Sky might not have the elixir to defend this push. The Inferno Tower has to go for the Ice Golem, and now the Inferno Tower is slowed down. The Knight is already up. There's not a second Crown Tower shooting at the
Wow.
Inferno Tower. Skeleton Army is going to be the choice, and I think they will be able to clean it up, but there's a
Good
zap. That means
zap.
Goblin Barrel is available, and Miner is definitely
Knight gonna
Middle
get a
Sky's
swing.
hand.
Knight's helping out.
Look at that, 2 swings, 3 swings. Wow, nice. Every single hit getting Brian RT close to $2,000.
You're right. This is the critical game 5. I mean, neither of these players have played in a game this high stakes. Game 5, $2,000 and an invite to the arena battles on the line. Every single mistake is going to resonate in their nightmares for the rest of the weekend.
Until next time, Brian RT fireballing, missing one of the goblins with the Goblin Barrel.
Perfect ice call. I mean, that was exactly the distance you wanted it to be, right? Oh no, I don't think it's gonna make the tower though.
Middle Sky is having to play a lot of defense, is trying to put
Fireball's
together.
just been used.
Fireball is cycled. Fireball is cycled. I believe he will be able to use it, but he's trying to force Brian RT to make a decision. He's not going to spend the Fireball at all. And here comes a counter push. There's no Skeleton Army to defend. He has to rely on the Ice Spirit,
Minion. Fireball's here.
but I don't think it's going to be in time. This is one of the benefits of being in Horde defensively. It does so much damage so quickly.
Oh, that's right.
You're not worried about it at all.
That's
Ooh,
true.
great. His miner was not predicted perfectly. Now the ice golem's gonna push it away and retarget it.
Oh, wow.
Inferno Tower? No, gonna use Skeleton Army. And Zap was used defensively, so it can't be used aggressively.
Fireball misses.
That's actually really dangerous because he used Zap and Fireball. This and double elixir means that the cycle can go really quick.
Sure. Interesting enough, we are now into overtime. The next tower that goes down will decide our
my
winner.
gosh.
Middle
He's got it
Sky
again.
A lot lower.
You can zap him.
wow.
The Ice Golem explosion plus a zap kills minion horde.
Oh, but the zap is used. What do you fireball? The skeleton army in front with the goblins in the back. But Middle Sky is splitting so much damage right now. It's really hurting.
Yeah.
Miner plays successfully, but he needs to play defense. Not enough elixir for the Inferno Tower. Just barely in time. But that Inferno Tower will not hold. Has to play the skeleton army. And if Brian Archie had the read,
There's the zap.
What
Hog Rider's getting.
that really just saved him. He has one more opportunity. Zap Fireball, I don't think is quite enough to take it down.
Just short. Yeah.
So this is all down to one opportunity.
So if you're Middle Sky, you are not going to want to let Brian RT
This
have
is
any
so
sort
Oh my gosh,
dangerous.
it's so close.
This is so dangerous. He's trying to set up for it.
Look at this
But
go!
it's not
The
enough.
miner keeps hitting. Fireball goes through.
And the tower, look at that, it's not
The
there.
princess has to shoot through the Inferno Tower.
Oh, the Goblin Girl's gonna zap.
He's going to do it. He's going to do it. He gives the wall. Looks like Middle Sky is going to take it.
Then the Ice Spirit is right there.
HP. So close, but the last HP hit point matters.
The
Congratulations
Ice
to
Spirit
Middle
was
Sky.
this far away from the tower.
And Ice Spirits jump.
Yeah,
They
that's true.
leap.
They don't even make it. He sees
She
a
was
jump.
mid.
Oh
just
my
about to
gosh.
jump.
Coming down to it.
Rumham,
Brian RT ain't sleeping tonight.
and
And that sucks. I feel for you, buddy.
Yeah.
I lost the 11th game of the 12th game of a challenge, a grand challenge. The opponent had 7 health, and I seriously paced around the apartment.
You're like,
the rest
let's
of
go,
it.
Bree. Let's go. Hey.
And that had not $10,000 on the line.
we
$2,000
were
on the
not
line.
worried at all, Rumham.
Yeah,
That's
no,
right. Actually, 100% correct. We
Okay.
knew from the start the Goblin Barrel deck was going to get it.
Let's go to the replay.
right, Rainey.
Let's go to the replay.
We retain
Stop
our-
talking about your predictions. Congratulations.
Well,
You're right.
good thing we don't have to comment.
That's also true.
that's true.
We actually planned that.
That's true. Look at Graveyard. Oh my god.
So
This card
good.
has been so impressive ever since its release. I'm hoping that Tornado makes kind of a similar appearance in that players really start embracing it and playing it. And I hope that on Sunday we see some very creative use of those new cards. I love it when new cards are put into the game and really employed in a very strong manner. Excellent.
Wow. So this graveyard, I mean, we saw this in the one game where Brian RT was trying to defend with Knight and Mega Minion as much as possible, and it just wasn't enough. Like, damage was getting through on every single push, and he just kept doing it until finally it got low enough for Middle Sky to finish it off with a combination of spells and supporting troops.
Watch the Ice
is.
Spirit.
Oh
Watch
my
the Ice Spirit on the
gosh.
bottom right. Take a look at this Ice Spirit. There's 4 health on the tower.
Run, I feel run.
There it is.
This is
Let me
Watch
tell
it
you.
run.
This is oh! Now, this is exactly why, guys. Clearly, we all know what the answer is. You need rage. I mean, that rage Ice Spirit would have made it, and boom, game over. No, but Brian RT is not going home with nothing. He's taking home $500 that he can
Yes,
sleep on tonight.
he is.
Hopefully, maybe a little more
That
comfortably.
stuff's a big pillow.
Yeah, big pillow full of
big fancy
money.
fluffy pillow.
But congratulations to Middle Sky. Let's pull up the bracket here and Rumham Rainey walk us through the story of Coronation number 12.
Man, Barbarian Hut really made it far.
It is so good.
And it was winning.
And here's the thing, Barbarian Hut is not the reason that game lost. It was the hog fireball. I mean,
that's true.
the Barbarian Hut deck won in every round
Yeah.
and won 2 games in the finals.
So we'll see it back. you
Here's
think?
what's so crazy. You were talking about how that game is going to be so close. It comes down to every single mistake. 1 point earlier on in that match, Brian RT missed 1 goblin out of a goblin barrel with a fireball.
Yes.
He got maybe 1 or 2 extra stabs in because of that. And that
Yeah.
could have been it. Like, that could have been the
my
entire
gosh.
game.
He even said oops.
Yeah.
Only
He was
knew.
like, oh. And then
Ooh,
eventually
that
that does lead to the downfall.
Okay.
Genesis claiming their first Coronation Day
Yes.
title.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Genesis. Welcome to the Clash Round North America.
So not only is Middle Sky taking home $2,000 and a chance to move on to the Crown Duel, but he's going down in Clash Royale history.
Yeah.
It's going to be epic.
Yeah.
He's going to be on our wall.
Super epic.
Yeah.
Epic card of his face.
That would be really cool.
I think they all get legendary cards. You're right. So not only does he get $2,000 and an invite to the arena battles, but he gets to be featured in one of the videos. We saw the Rulers of the Duelers video #1 that's on
Going
the
through all
official
4.
Clash Royale
He's
YouTube
gonna be a
channel.
star.
And
right.
yeah, you get featured. They talk about your story. They
Little
show pictures of
interview.
your life, little interviews,
Yeah.
and of course you get a chance to battle for up to $15,000 at the arena battles of the Crown
So
Bowl.
if you want to have a chance to get in on all of that, go to ClashRoyaleOpen.com, sign up,
Yep.
and come on out. Be here Sunday.
That's right. It is not over yet. Our next broadcast is going to be Sunday, 6 o'clock p.m. The next one then Monday, 6. Wednesday at 6, and then finally Thursday, our final one is going to be again at 8 o'clock p.m. a week from now, and all of them will be done. 4 left.
There's only think about this. There's only 4 left. There are easily more than 4 people who have made 3 top 8s.
You're right.
You know what I mean? So there is going to be someone left out in the cold, being a consistently high player, but just can't quite make that Coronation Day title.
Well, and that's saying if no new player comes in and all of a sudden just takes it to the top and wins again.
That's kind of what happened tonight.
Yeah.
Boy, Middle Sky's second appearance.
There it is, Middle Sky. Congratulations to you. All right, guys, before we wrap up, any final thoughts?
Man, I'm excited to see what the tornado
Yes.
does.
Yeah.
Yep.
Come check out
That's my
Tornado,
tornado
on Sunday.
That's good.
Is it worth mentioning about our last Coronation arena battle invite?
Oh, yeah.
I think we should talk about that because we mentioned it last time. Marcel P made it because of an invite. As it turns out, of the last winners, only Darth Jar Jar in third place was the most qualified, so he is also going to the arena battle.
That's right. If you guys missed out, Darth Jar Jar yesterday takes third place, and because of that, the first two, first and second, were not able to make it.
Yeah.
And so now Darth Jar Jar is moving on, so we will see him in the arena battles as well. All right, guys. Well, that'll do it for Coronation Day 12 here. On behalf of everyone at NG Studios in Burbank, California, this has been the official Supercell Clash Royale North American Open. That is Rainey and Rumham.
I'm Ella.
I'm not sick.
The most ridiculous night.
Thank you for not being sick.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.